Hello everyone, welcome to IRC, welcome to Thursday night, welcome to Spa, the best racetrack in the world, hasn't it? It's got everything, straights, hairpin, amazing flowing corners, and it is the best racetrack in my opinion. I'm absolutely pumped up for this one. Really good stuff indeed. Hello to Kieran. Hello. I'm glad that you're watching on the old Facebook. Fantastic stuff indeed then. And of course, I hope you're all enjoying on YouTube as well then. All right then, it's you can see we've got lovely shots here of the Spa-Francorchamps circuit then, and this is round 12. We're just over half distance now of the Formula One campaign then of IRC, and I've got to say the championship is still wide open. Steve has had a very, very strong season thus far. As I've got to say, I keep talking about how great Steve's been this season, but you cannot count out the double world champion T. Sammy. He is still within touch and distance. We're only on round 12. Remember, we got 10 more rounds to go, of course. So there's a lot can happen in that time. So it's not over by any stretch of the imagination. Then let's just take a look then to see what is occurring in the drivers and the constructors standings. It is like this. Steve is currently leading the championship, 54 points in front of T. Sammy in second. Matt is now in third position. Fourth position is Timmy with Roscoe fifth. Asdog and Fizzy have swapped positions there, so they're battling quite hard there between each other. In sixth and seventh, Asdog is now a point in front of Fizzy. Eighth position is Maxi Hogg in ninth position. Mason moving up 2 positions. He's now up to 10th position. Rizzle and Val dropping down to 11th and 12th position respectively. As we got Gaz who's coming out onto the circuit as well. On board with Gaz as he's trying to warm up those tyres then. And of course, so at the moment we've got 3 drivers who haven't scored any points. Gaz is one of them, JJ and PB are the other 2 drivers as well. In the constructor standings then, it is Red Bull who are leading 36 points in front of the defending constructors champions, which is the AlphaTauri team. And then we've also got Mercedes in third position, and he is on 54 points away at the moment. And Mercedes is fourth position is Racing Point. Alfa Romeo in fifth. Sixth is Renault. Seventh McLaren. Eighth is Ferrari. Williams in ninth position, and the Haas, which you're watching on screen, is in 10th position. Then of course, and yes, so I feel that this is 7 kilometers long. This circle. This is the longest racetrack on the calendar. So you cannot be mucking about, can you, in the pit lane? And just wait and just biding your time. You cannot be doing that around here. You very much have to be on the ball, don't you? Well, currently we have a couple of drivers out on circuit, aren't we? As we are now on the second half of the season. So this is where it gets really like you've got to very much pull your socks up now, haven't you, for the remainder of the season there. No more mistakes then. I think the constructors is finally balanced as well. I'm going to talk about a debutant in just a few moments. I'll keep an eye, see what he will be we'll see what he'll be doing in this session. Then we'll also talk about his progress as well. Sam Carton saying good evening. Hello Sam, hope you're well. The guys, let's go on board for him as he comes into La Sourced as well, breaking down then to 40 miles an hour before getting back on the loud pedal as well. Then going over the other grid Hutchins around here. Goodness me, got 2 so long, haven't we? Now coming up to Eau Rouge, or is that Radion actually? Now he comes through Radion now. Lovely stuff indeed then. And now as he powers away then, coming up to Lake Com as well. This was the scene in 1995 where it was Schumacher against Hill, one of my favourite races of all time. Michael Schumacher had a huge smash in qualifying, didn't he? And had to and he was 16th on the grid there. Amazing. I got to say, he had a fantastic Grand Prix, didn't he? Michael Schumacher did. And I got to say, I wasn't his biggest fan back then. I was definitely in David Hill camp there. Well, both Hill and Coulthard in the Williams. I love that team duo of Williams, of Coulthard and Hill. Unfortunately, we only seen that for one season. Well, maybe 1.5 if you count 94, but it was a bit of a stop-start season, wasn't it, for David Coulthard? Of course, as he was just a sub at the time, wasn't he, after the untimely and unfortunate death of Ayrton Senna. And Williams, there was I think that Williams was really well actually with Damon Hill getting a point of winning the 94 championship as well. But what could have been perhaps, and I think that it's quite interesting, isn't it, to think what could have been though, isn't it? Because do you think with Senna behind the wheel of that Williams, would he have won the championship by a bigger margin, or would he have won the championship as all? Is the question, isn't it? Of course, there's a lot of if, buts, and maybes. Gaz going over a Blanchimont there, going slightly slightly wide. So I was going to talk about gas as well, but I've gone off on a complete tangent already here. I'm like, goodness me, we're only 5 minutes into this stream then. Absolutely appalling. So Gaz comes across the line then. The finish line and start line slightly different. Gaz is over the line, a 45-4 then to start us off in the Haas car. Great stuff indeed then for Gaz. And I think that's a very good mark to put down there. And Steve then going over the line as well. Of course, at the moment, Steve has been the race king, the qualifying king. He's been the king of IRC this season, hasn't he? And once again, and he's very quick as well in the Red Bull. Here comes car 81, which is Timmy in the Mercedes. He is second fast moment, not back in there, floaty a bit there. Goodness me, I hope he's going to have it more planted in the race itself. And we just got Penny coming across the line. He is in the second half in front of his teammate as well. Penny is there. Good stuff indeed then. Matt, who's just about to finish up, so coming into the bus stop chicane, and it's had a lot of remodeling, hasn't it? A lot of reprofiling over the seasons, hasn't it? Over the past seasons, I prefer the original one myself. And back in, of course, I do prefer the old one. Way before they started to like just mess with it, really. I think the 2002 prior I prefer, rather than the modern day bus stop. Of course, there is the call it bus stop because it was actually used to be a bus stop as well, didn't it? Here in the Ardennes Forest. Asdog then, oh goodness me, that car is very squirrely around, isn't it? But Asdog goes third fastest. I think that, if I'm not very much mistaken, I think that Asdog's had some very good, he's had two very solid 7 positions in the last 2 races. And then before that, Asdog had 3 DNFs in a row. So he's starting to really, it's a bit of a snowball effect now, isn't it? He's starting to really get himself a bit of momentum. Val going 5th fastest in the Williams. Good stuff indeed then. We got Hogg, who's just about to finish his lap off white. He's run out of Urs deployment then as he comes out of the bus stop. He would like a bit of boost there. Unfortunately, ain't gonna have that, but that doesn't matter too much because he's 4th fastest at the moment. A good time to really start him off then. I've got to say, that's start as you mean to go on then. Very impressive stuff indeed then. Double is coming up into Puyol now as well. Fizzy is coming up to Lakecombe. Let's stay with Double then, because he's the furthest car around the circuit then. And so let's see what Double can do as well. And oh goodness me then, as I'm just oh gosh, I've got a lot of I've got a lot of messages going on. Then let's get rid of all those, shall we? So I can't see the Facebook stream as well. Double then coming out of Stavolo. Or is it Stavolo 2? I heard it. Oh my goodness me, Fizzy's off! Fizzy's off, and we cut away from Fizzy, and my goodness me, and Fizzy there had a bit of of course, he's, oh gosh, that's off in a big way, Fizzy. I was like, goodness me, it's the corner with no name where he's gone off as well, of course, which I think Jerome D'Ambrosia called it Jackie X turn, but whatever, Fizzy ain't going to be too concerned about that. He's going to be more concerned that he is out of qualifying. My goodness me, that is a shocker to the system there, Fizzy. He probably wanted to have a nice clean race tonight there. He got a very good I think he got a very good 8th position in Mexico, didn't he, last week after a difficult qualify. I think he got knocked out qualifying one in that race as well. So Fizzy just not getting the rub of the green at the moment, is he? So a bit as I was just on board. Brown, my goodness me, then I thought he was going into the barrier there, and oh gosh, there's Hogg there just breaking there. Luckily, Brown was on the other part of the circuit there. Is he going for a second time lap? Indeed he is. And just in front of us is the Haas car about pistol racing. Of course, the debutant in the Ureno, I should say, is Alton circuit as well. Let's see what he can do. As into the pits comes Brown now. Look at how narrow this pit exit entry is, I should say. It's not as well, it used to be wide on the old games, didn't it? Of course, you used to be able to take a shortcut into the. You used to be able to take a shortcut as well in the old games as well. You used to start to go in the pit lane, then of course kind of cut it before the barrier came up, and then the job's a good one kind of thing. But there we go there. Of course, the RC history here in Spa then is quite infamous, really, isn't it? It's, if anyone remembers the 1998 Grand Prix around here, which I would say personally is one of my favourite races of all time. Absolutely fantastic. I loved that race from start to finish. It was mega. We had Rizzlesticks coming back into the pits then. Oh goodness me, they're going a bit wide there. Yeah, and I think that but the 98 Belgium Grand Prix was absolutely magnificent. Brilliant stuff indeed. And if you haven't watched that, I suggest you go and watch it. But you need about 2.5 hours to 3 hours spare to watch it, because we had a lot of incidents, didn't we? And of course, that was also the famous first lap shutdown where we had a lot of cars involved, and not many cars, and it was a huge smash there as well. And then of course the second start, it's a pistol race in there, just finding a bit of the grass verge there on the outside, coming up to Lakecombe. He's done a 30 in the first sector there. Good stuff indeed there for the new Red Renault debutant then. But yeah, going back to the infamous moments here in IRC, of course, I think that we had RSA had their very own Spa 98 collision, didn't they? Coming out of last Thursday. Goodness me, it was a huge smash, wasn't it? And we lost I think we lost at least half the field, maybe even more as well. An absolutely humongous smash there. And I just remember seeing Double there just parking behind there and inching forward so he doesn't get disqualified. As Double was very much a wily old veteran that day, wasn't he? And I think he picked up some major points as well for it. So good stuff indeed. That Steve's left the session then, as he is first at the moment then, so he might need to get back in the session though if he wants to take part in qualifying too. Just watching pistol racing then, as he is coming out of Stavolo as well. Or was it Paul Frere? I get those two mixed up, don't I? I think I'm speaking absolute hogwash there. Here comes pistol racing then, flying through Blanchimont as well. We had a huge smash there in 2001, I should say, there with the former teammates actually of Luciano Berti and Eddie Irvine. If I'm not very much mistaken, that was Luciano Berti's final race as well, wasn't it? Because I think he was in the Prost team. You had two smashes Berti did, two humongous crashes that Luciano Berti did. Pistol racing goes 9th fastest in the Renault, so 2/10 of a second in front. Is that going to be enough to get him through? Well, I think it's too early then to predict that. We've still got some big names to still come out, like T. Sammy, and here's Roscoe, one of them as well. Steve has made it back into the session, and good stuff indeed. Roscoe out to the final turn as well, hacksawing away at that steering wheel, running over the curbs as well. Roscoe goes third fastest then, and he is looking very on it tonight, isn't he? You can see that one lap indeed, then a lot of steering input as well then, and I think he'll be very very happy with that then. And oh goodness me, I've got all kinds of silly stuff going on. Anyway, we'll leave that to one side, shall we? Goodness me. Unfortunately, my sister decided to message me at such a awful time there, as she knows between 8 and 10 I am not available. T. Sammy is coming across the line. He's about to start his lap now, the double world champion. We're on round 12 this season, and I can't believe I am saying it, but T. Sammy has not won a race in season 9 yet of IRC. I can't believe it. The double world champion hasn't won a race yet. He has been very unlucky though, hasn't he? Unless that is the facts. That's the brutal daylight facts of it. But of course, that doesn't tell the whole story, does it? T. Sammy been very unlucky. Mexico, for example, he was very unlucky. T. Sammy really arrived, didn't he, in Mexico? And I think he had a point or two to prove. He was absolutely magnificent, wasn't he? But an unfortunate safety car, and I think that's at least twice has happened this season for T. Sammy, where it's just come out at the wrong time and really cost him the race win, hasn't it, for our double world champion T. Sammy. So, I think that he would like to get himself, I'm sure that he's aiming for at least a win this season, but of course he's only 54 points behind Steve, and of course the points are 25 now, aren't they, for a race win, of course. So if Steve has any untoward luck, T. Sammy could be right back in there for Grand Prix win then. So it's not over till it's over, is it? Jan, evening, Sean, good evening, Jan. I hope you're having a splendid day. And of course, it is the day before Good Friday as well. And happy Easter to everyone as well. I hope you've all got your chocolate eggs, or if you haven't yet, I'm sure they'll be on special soon. I think it's Bank Holiday Monday is when I'm probably going to go into Tesco's and grab the bargains. I do have two sat next to me as well, but I'm going to try and resist as much as possible. Yes, I think that on Monday that it's going to be where I'm starting to really going to be breaking the bank now with a couple of free for one deals and stuff like that. So Justin T. Sammy go into third fast, as I said. We were just watching his teammate Rizzle 6 now, who's on the back straight and on the Kemmel straight, I should say, coming to Lake Calm, and just breaking down into fourth gear. Lovely over the shoulder shot as well. Great stuff indeed then for Rizzle 6 then. And now as he's coming up, he's finished the first sector as well. You can see, I don't expect any traffic on this course then, but you can always, but this is very much can catch out the unwary, can't it? Look at the brake disc glowing as well, and that's where he's in physical offense. Fizzy is our first confirmed driver out of qualifying. We're going to lose PB as well, I reckon, because I think PB in his entire IRC career has only done 2 qualifying sessions. So he's not a fan of the old qualifying, is he? And Rizzle Sticks, then look at the oh goodness me, I think Giovinazzi had a big smash there in 2020, didn't he? And unfortunately George Russell was an innocent bystander, wasn't he? Rizzle Sticks almost had the same issue there. And now then, as he is coming up, then he has now got one more break-in zone to go then, and that is it. The bus stop chicane as well. Belgium is not very much a corner anymore. It's Verstappen had probably, I think it was the overtake of the season, wasn't it, in 2015, on the outside of one of the Saubers. Was it Felipe Nasr? Possibly, I can't remember. Oh, and Rizzlesticks is abandoned again. This is not good at all for Rizzlesticks' point of view, because he's only got 3 minutes to get in and get himself back out there. So pressure is going to be very much on at Rizzlesticks now, isn't it? Gaz there, who is just started. I'm sorry, got Penny, who is also ventured out onto the circuit. We're going to keep an eye on what Mason can do at the moment. He has got a 10-second penalty added to his final time here tonight as well. I'm very impressed. I remember that, or you all should be very impressed. I remember that, but I cheated a bit there because I seen that Matt put it in the chat, so that's why. So there we go. I'm not as smart as I sound there, and unfortunately, I just make myself even worse than I sound because I even admitted to it. As Mason there now coming into the double right-hander as well, running slightly wide. He's done a 14.8 there in the second intermediate split time. This man has been the star of qualifying so far, hasn't he, this season? He has been magnificent, and I think he's also starting to get some good race performance in as well now. He's got 26 points there, Mason has. He's only 3 points behind his teammate Hogg as well, so very impressive indeed. Mason, I think, got he had a very much a very adventurous Grand Prix in Mexico, and he got he got 6th position in the end. He got 8 points out to his name, Mason did, and of course we've I think that this season he has been very impressive indeed. And remember, I think that Mason's going to go from strength to strength as well. And he's got the qualifying pace, and I think the qualifying is one of the more hardest is one of the more hardest skills to learn, isn't it, really? But if you've got the 1 lap pace, then I think the race pace it shouldn't be too difficult there to find your groove, should it? 2 minutes to go in the qualifying session, and Rizzlesticks is back out on circuit as well then, so he should have enough time to get out there, but it's going to be very much all pressure on him then. JJ is not coming out by the looks either in the Ferrari, so we've only got one Ferrari again tonight, unfortunately. As Maxi is not here again tonight, which is a big shame. So JJ once again is flying the flag for the Scuderia on board with Gaz, and he is coming over the crest of Radion as well. Let's see what Gaz can do. He's currently in qualifying at the moment. Good stuff deep there for Gaz, and it looks like that no one's going to be able to dampen his spirits tonight. Fantastic stuff indeed. Talking of dampening, I haven't heard about the weather forecast yet, then, but this has got its very own weather system, hasn't it? Remember all those classic races around here where we've had rain in the past. I've already mentioned the 98 Grand Prix, 97 as well. I think we had tropical rain, didn't we, at the beginning of the 97 Belgian Grand Prix, or was it the end? I think it was the beginning actually, wasn't it, where you had tropical rain very much deluging down in the very early stages of that race. And of course 95 as well, it was a very damp and misty, wasn't it, in the 95 race? That's a classic race that stands out right from the get-go, doesn't it? I love that race. It's one of my all-time favorites as well. I do love it. That's why I love this circuit, and there's so many great races that it just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Gaz is 0.3 of a second down. I wonder if he's overdriving the car, or perhaps he is just trying to wind himself up then for one more run then for the Haas car. Pistol Race is back out on the circuit as well. 200 of a second down at the moment, on board the debutant now in the Renault, and at the moment he's in 12th position, and that's a very solid start then for the IRC debutant. Very good stuff indeed. He's found 9/10 in the second split. Wow, my goodness me, there. Pistol was very much getting the old sandbags on there, wasn't he? That's very to see a Renault car having sandbags. It's just the Mercedes. Brilliant stuff indeed then for a Piston. Flies through Blanchimont as well. Great stuff indeed. Not even a hint of a lift there, is it? Of course, this man is very brave and already to be stepping in an F1 car with barely no practice at all, and very on it from the get-go, out of the bus stop chicane, and he throws himself into 10th fastest, and I think that I think the Pistol Racing is just really starting to find his groove here. The checker flag has fallen, hasn't it? What about Rizzlesticks? And Rizzlesticks and JJ is between those two drivers, and everyone else should be safely through. Rizzlesticks just needs to get a time in. It doesn't even need to be a quick time. It just needs a time on the board, because JJ hasn't had a time on the board. Of course, with Fizzy having a crash in the corner with no name, he is in 17th position as well, and he's got another difficult race ahead of him. Fizzy has him, but I think that hopefully he can get some more points on the board. Sticks then in the just got one more break in that zone to make them as he goes fast. I said as I just throwing the gauntlet down, he's almost 5/10 of a second. He is 5/10 of a second in front of Timmy in second position moment. And goodness me, see there, I think just trying to get his groove on as well. I think those were on scrubbed set soft tires as well. Sticks there out of the bus stop chicane, then brake disc glowing. Then I think this time it should be enough to get him through. He's done. He is through. And that's a very good time now from Rizzle. My goodness me, he's thrown himself up into second position. Great time indeed there for the AlphaTauri. Absolutely mega stuff indeed then. And yes, he is through and into qualifying too. Fantastic stuff indeed then for Rizzle. That's a great time indeed then. And I've got to say, I think that's going to be a lot of drivers are going to be sitting up and taking notice of that time, I feel. Remember, Rizzle Sticks there, he showed in Austria what he's made of. And of course, a bit more, if you had a more race like that, goodness me, he'll definitely be very much a regular point scorer. And I think that he'll probably be in the top 5 or top 6 in the championship. He'd give Roscoe a run for his money as well. And Roscoe is no slouch behind a Formula 1 wheel, is he? Our qualifying is PB, Fizzy, and JJ. The surprise there, Fizzy out qualifying 2 in qualifying 1 at 2 weekends, 2 weeks in a row. Then goodness gracious me. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I've just got to wet me whistle in. I've got this new squash today, apple and blackcurrant. Absolutely love it. I really need to learn to mute my mic, to be honest, but I'll probably forget to unmute it, and then I'll look like a complete and utter fool, won't I? Right, so going to qualifying 2 then here tonight in Belgium then, and of course I would like to hear what your favourite memories are here in Belgium. Then I can almost go through it. Someone's got DRS somehow on the pit lane now. Pistol there, finding new ways there of speeding up his mechanics. DRS usually speeds up the car, but maybe they just needed to give the rear wing a bit of a rub down, perhaps. But yeah, going back to some classic Grand Prix around Spa. Of course, one memory I have, which is very unusual, was both Williamses there were, I think Ralf Schumacher was left on his jacks, wasn't he? Because there was a problem on the car or something like that. Wasn't it a wheel cover that got caught? And they knew that he was going to have to start from the back of the grid then, so they just kind of left him on his jacks then, kind of thing. And I think that was what the case. That was back in 2001. That was very odd that was, wasn't it? And a double cream cut then is now away. Of course, 2000 as well was another rain affected race. Again, it was a rain that started, and I think Jenson Button had a very good qualifying. I think he was 5th on the grid, wasn't he, Jenson Button, in his first debut season as well? And first and debut is exactly the same thing then. So I said, it's so nice, I said it twice. But yeah, Button there, and I think that Ralf Schumacher's in 4th position as well. Gaz is in the barrier. Oh my gosh, Sharon Somerhalder has to take evasive action, but Gaz, who's made it into qualifying 2, he ain't going to make it any further. He's in the barrier at the top of Radion. He is out of qualifying. That's a major blow for the Haas car and for Gaz himself. And that is, he's going to be absolutely kicking himself for that, isn't he? Just on and out lap as well. The soft tyres will probably be scorching hot, really. So I think that because the tyres that usually go on the car is hotter than the ones coming off sometimes as well. Oh goodness me, Gaz there. This potentially could have been a Q3 appearance as well for Gaz, as I feel that he was really starting to get into the run of form, wasn't he, in the Haas cover? That's a blow, isn't it? T-Sammy, Roscoe, Rizzle Sticks and Pistol all in the pits at the moment then. They're not interested in coming out, as they're just going to watch their competitors just rubber the track in then. And there's a lot of cloud cover overhead here in Spa, and that reminds me, of course, the only wet race in 2005 was actually this race here, wasn't it? Of course, because 2005, I love 2005. I don't know why, but that's one season that I really enjoy watching back on the old season reviews. And I absolutely love it. Of course, that was a very odd season for a couple of reasons. One of them was because it was the only season which didn't involve any tyre changes at all, did it? It's they had that rule where one set of tyres must last you from qualifying to the race and throughout the race distance as well. I think it was also the aggregate qualifying system as well, wasn't it? Whereas qualifying on Saturday and then Sunday morning, or was it Friday and Saturday? I can't remember, but it was the aggregate qualifying session, which I think it was banded. Was it banded? Or was it got ridden of actually after the? I think it was around the European Grand Prix, and of course we also had. I think we also had the BAR team getting suspended for 2 races as well for having a extra fuel, an extra compartment for fuel and things like that, really, which was illegal, really, wasn't it? I think their car, if they took that out, then the car would have been underweight, kind of thing, wouldn't they, or something along those lines. I got to say, my memory's quite faded around there, but yeah, it was a very odd as well, because I think Jenson Button was actually in the commentary booth, wasn't he, for the Monaco Grand Prix 2005 as well? I'm sure he was, or was he in qualifying? I'm not sure, but I just remember something along those lines. Or was it 2000? I think 2003. Of course, he did take part in Monaco. He did. He had that humongous smash in practice, didn't he? Similar to Sergio Perez, but I think that the bar was a bit further closer in 2003 compared to 11. And unfortunately, Button was deemed not to race on that event then, and he did race again a couple of years later because, of course, the BAR team was banned, wasn't it? They were told to go home with the Spanish Grand Prix, which is a shame, wasn't it? And then I think that, and of course, the other major talking point about the 2005 season was, of course, the 6-car Grand Prix in the United States, and my word, that was surreal. Let's see what Double could do. He's done a 44 as he comes across the line. Lovely stuff indeed. Steve is on the medium tires. He goes fast on the 42. He is very much up for it. Once again, it's Steve. Timmy in third position. Matt has just gone up third position now. Timmy second, I should say. Val is in fourth position, and they're coming across the line thick and fast, and I wonder if some drivers might have been trying to steal the old cheeky slipstream around here. We'll find out. Here comes Hogg as well then. 10 minutes to go in the qualifying session. He accelerates up now, not taking the traditional racing line. Then Hogg he's hugging as he wants to go straight for the finish line as well. In 5th position, then Hogg. Lovely stuff, man. What about Mason then? Mason there, who's not too far behind his teammate, and he is also on the medium tyres. Well, Penny and Double, the only 2 drivers on the soft tyres. Mason goes in front of his teammate. We got Roscoe, who's starting his lap as well, just behind us. Let's go on board then with the Racing Point driver going into last source. Mason has gone very wide there, so he's just being a very gentleman there, Mason, isn't he? Good stuff indeed there. So Mason now, I think, will be fairly happy with 5th position. 10 minutes to go in the qualifying session then, as at the moment, and whoever gets into the top 10 will start on the tires which they set their fastest time on. That's why we're seeing a lot of medium runners out there. I think that the strategy might be from medium to soft, perhaps, and if the driver starts on the medium tires, perhaps, then I think the only time we see the hard tires if someone comes into some difficulties or something. Then bearing in mind that's probably completely wrong, and I'm probably thinking of a completely different circuit, but I'm sure that's a strategy that I would use around here on my career mode anyway. But then again, my career mode's absolutely down the toilet, isn't it? Really is. I think I'm going to be booted out Mercedes if I'm not careful. Anyway, Roscoe going a bit wide there out of the corner with no name, and now coming into Puyong as well. Then I keep saying Puyol, I think there, and I think I should say Puyong. I think it's Puyong, isn't it? But I keep saying Puyol out of the after the Spanish captain, or the former Spanish and Barcelona captain. Oh my goodness me, Roscoe's back in there. Wow, he was shaking that, wasn't he, all over the road. My word there, Roscoe very much full beans there, isn't he? And I gotta say that there's Hogg in the foreground there. He has done his business for the time being. The sun is starting to burst through the clouds as well, as Roscoe, goodness me, I think he's just having a bit of fun on this lap, isn't he? But this is not no time for fun, Roscoe. This is about getting into qualifying free, and Roscoe is going to be a big player once again in this Grand Prix, so he doesn't want to be biting the dust before he's even got the road, before we even got to the business end then. And I feel that that time he can go a bit quicker. Then he lost a lot of time, didn't he, just before the end of the second split. Rizzling's on the lap then. Brown has come back in the pits as well. So just watching Rizzling's going through Rouge and Radion. And my goodness me, he caught that. Then I think that his car would have flashed before his eyes there. Oh gosh there. And Rizzling's then very close then to being out of the qualifying session. And the back end was snaking, wasn't it? Roscoe is coming back into the pits while he is on an in lap. And I think that so Roscoe there is very much is also abandoning this up. I don't think that Roscoe's going to be feeling too safe there, so that might have to be another run for Roscoe, and that potentially might hurt his tyre strategy for the Grand Prix coming up in about 20 minutes time, of course. And T Simon coming down the Kemmel straight as well then, so let's see what the AlphaTauri driver can do. We just seen his teammate getting very close to ending his day in the barrier there, in the hedge. Luckily though for Rizzix, he caught that very nicely indeed. That he is on the medium tires, and I'm wondering if he might try and go for another run, because it's such a long lap around here. 7 kilometers around this circuit, so you can't really afford to make too many mistakes there. It just really ups the ante, doesn't it? And that is not what Rizzix would want or need then. He is looking quick around here when he gets his time. When he gets a time on the board, he finished second or third in Q1, didn't he? So there is time in that car for Rizzix, and he just needs to have a clean lap, doesn't he? Yellow flag in free, then it is Rizzix out. I think he's just crawling back to the pit. Said T Sammy. Then hopefully the two teammates knows where each other are. Then as T Sammy does not want to be does not want to have any hold ups. Then but as he finishes off his up as well, then as he comes through Blanchimont as well, coming up to the bus stop chicane then, and he's about to slow down into the bus stop chicane as well. Rizzix has no, he hasn't. He's carried on. Rizzix has. It is the other car there, and I think I need my Specsavers on because I'm not sure how I got dark blue and pink mixed up. T Sammy has gone second fastest. Good time indeed there for T Sammy. But we're going to flick to his teammate now, of course, the AlphaTauri, who in their first season in IRC history, won the constructor championship. Yes, they were the former Toro Rosso team, but my book, if they change their name, then they're a new team to me. But that's just me. But of course, then first season as the AlphaTauri team. Anyway, a great season indeed it was. Of course, that was the powerhouse of Matt and Sprint, and of course both those drivers had a couple of wins as well. And of course, the moment of the season, they won that as well with that incredible 1-2 in Monaco. AlphaTauri this season, they are second in the championship at the moment, and with Red Bull leading the way then, so it's the two Honda power cars then, including the constructors, isn't it? And it is definitely very much the power of dreams, isn't it? Which used to be their slogan. I think it still might be their slogan. Rizzix there is off. He's off there in his house, but it's around Puyong there, and he is just recovering back on now. That's 2 laps now for Rizzix, and I'm wondering this is going to force his hand. He might have to just come out on the soft tires, perhaps. Then remember, Perez elected to stay on the medium tires in Bahrain qualifying over the weekend. And that cost him a Q3 appearance. But having said that, Perez had an absolutely spectacular and driver of the day performance as well in Bahrain. But I think Rizzix there would like to start further up the grid than what he is at the moment. So I have a feeling the team might abandon this time and come back into the garage then and might throw on a set of soft tires. He's only got just under 5 minutes to go in the session then, on board with the only Mercedes left in this qualifying session, which is Timmy. A shock surprise is Fizzy out of qualifying. Absolutely, there was scenes, wasn't there, at the top of the hill, coming down into the corner with no name. Here's Timmy as well, and he flicks it through and through Blanchimont as well. Car 81 then coming up into the bus stop chicane as well, breaking down into second gear, touching 50 miles an hour as well then, accelerated away then. That bus stop chicane not as sweet as it used to be, but there's me just saying back in my day and sounding old. Then Timmy has gone fastest and a tenth of a second in front of Steve in second position. And at the moment, I don't think anyone else is on an outlap then, but we got Val, who is the furthest driver around then. He's on an outlap with 4 minutes to go, and I'm wondering if he's got fuel for more than one time run here. And if that is the case, then he would definitely, I think that this is definitely exactly what he needs to do, isn't it? Of course, it's about confidence compared to about your tyre life as well. So Val coming out of the front, turning 2 DR zones around this circuit, over the start-finish straight, of course, up the Kemmel straight as well. And I think that we might see some games there going into last source then, because some drivers will not want to have the DRS there. Having said that, the DRS activation zone is just there where Val's passed now. Then now flicking up to over Radion as well. Lovely shot indeed. I love that shot. As you could just see the cars peering over the top of Radion, up the Camel Straight as well. And look at that, 207 miles an hour. Then it's a very much a roller coaster ride, isn't it? The Belgian Grand Prix up to Lake Com as well. We was talking about Hill and Schumacher up there. What about Rosberg and Hamilton as well? Then back in 2014, where the rivalries very much started to really peak, didn't it? I think it was Hungary. It was probably the hangover from Hungary, really, was it? Where Hamilton refused to let Rosberg through, and perhaps Rosberg there felt a bit stubborn, didn't it? But it was a bit stubborn there and probably should have backed out then. But of course, if buts and maybes, then of course these are racing drivers. They're fine-tuned to win, aren't they? And of course, sometimes backing out is a very difficult thing to do, isn't it? Val Mota is in qualifying 3. He's 8th position there. He's done a 43.886 then. He is a second up then, so expect him to be well into the 42s here. Very good stuff indeed. There's a car in front of us. It is the Davidson Pistol Racing as has not done a run at all yet in qualifying 2, so Pistol is leaving it very late there. As I got to say, I think that Pirelli must be paying for his Pirelli tyres on this debut here tonight, because he doesn't seem to be using very many of them. But he shouldn't get in the way of Val, unless of course Val's having 2 runs then. But if he does, well, it looks like he won't have 2 runs then, because I feel it's flashing there, and he is a second up in the follow section as well. Val goes third, fast as said. Good stuff indeed. Brown is only 11th, and that's on the medium tyres as well for car 58. So Brown is not through into qualifying yet then, so he is to qualifying first. Say he's got more work to do. Penny is out of the follow turn, and Penny is looks like he's just going for an extra warm-up lap there to really put himself into the sweet spot then. So let's see what he can do then. Brown then, who is just using his teammate for a bit of slipstream then. Look at this, and good stuff indeed. Good teammate, good bit of teamwork there from the Williams team. But Brown is a 10th for a second down the first sector, just staying with a Pistol Racing then at the top of Lake On then, now dropping down the hill then very fast as well then. Excuse me, there's a man with a big exhaust outside. Now into the corner with No Name as well, taking too much curb there on the outside. Pistol Racing is, and that's going to unsettle the car slightly. And now coming into Puyong as well. Rizzlesticks is back out on circuit as well. He starts us up then with a minute to go in this qualifying session. Rizzlesticks once again, I got to say, he's as cool as a cucumber tonight, Rizzlesticks is, and he's had a lot of pressure. Pistol Racing then has, I got to say, he loves the curves there on the outside, does he? Pistol Racing is very much enjoying riding those curbs then. Good stuff indeed then for Pistol Racing. I think he'll be absolutely delighted to be into qualifying 2 then. And now as he is coming out of Paul Froudad, or is it Stavolo? I do not know. Maybe I should get my Wikipedia page out. Now coming up into the final part of the lap then. Let's see what Pistol Racing can do. Yellow flags then is the Williams of Brown is still a couple of tenths down in the second section, and his teammate Val, it looks like he has his job done for Val. He's going to be very happy with that. Look at the brightness glowing on Pistol's racing car. Out of the final turn, Pistol goes 13th fastest there. Has he got time for one more run? That is going to be the question, isn't it? And into the pits goes Brown then, so he's abandoning his time, unfortunately. On board then with the Ferrari powered Haas car of Penny into the bus stop chicane as well. The fuel light is flashing then. DRS right on the money. He heard a beep. He got the beep. He is in 9th position. As it stands, he is through into qualifying 3. As it stands, Roscoe is oh good sweet. Roscoe's gone right off in Blanchimont then. He's had some issues, and is this going to be tears for Roscoe? We're going to find out now as well, because Rizzlesticks is very quick in the second sector. Steve coming out the follow turn. He is the fastest. He's on a 41.6. He's having a laugh. Incredible stuff. And here comes a Rizzlesticks then into the final bus stop chicane now as well. Accelerating away Rizzlesticks is. DRS. And he is in 4th position. Roscoe is in major issues here. And here's Double N, and Double N is the next car to come up to the line then. What about Pistol? Pistol's the second down. Pistol is unfortunately out of qualifying. And that's a shame there for Pistol Racing. What about Double then? And Double, has he got enough then to get himself through into qualifying 3 then? Roscoe also needs a time as well. Roscoe's out. Roscoe's out. Just seen he's 8 seconds down. He had a major issue in Puyol there. Double is 12. Roscoe is out of qualifying. Let's see then as he comes up to the line. He's not using DRS. And wow, that is a shocker, isn't it, for Roscoe, the former Grand Prix winner, out of qualifying at the second hurdle there for Roscoe. He is going to be very unhappy with him with his performance there. However, he does start on whatever tires he wants to. Well, maybe was that a shrewd move there from the RSC veteran? Well, whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be, he'll be starting 11th. He'll be able to choose whatever tires he wants there. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to Pistol Racing for now. But don't worry, Pistol Racing fans. Of course, whoever's new and joining us tonight, and of course, any fans of Pistol Racing, don't worry, he'll be in the Grand Prix later on then, of course, and so he'll be starting his first IRC race in 14th position then. Fantastic stuff indeed then as he comes into the pits. Well, look how narrow the pit lane is here. You've got to be very careful coming in here. You don't want to damage your front wing. It says 80 kilometers an hour, but it's an absolutely lovely, picturesque drop is there behind the pit lane. So as he comes into the pits, and that is it then for pistol racing. And double is out of qualifying in 12th position, but I think that once again, and I'm sure that in the McHackinen Trophy, then double is leading the championship, and he's shown that his experience is absolutely second to none. Then really good stuff indeed. Then that's a very good opportunity for me to actually talk about the McHackinen Trophy. I need to I gotta say I'm absolutely appalled with myself, and I got all these. I find it like on my phone then before you start racing, and unfortunately I seem to get distracted and then lose it again then. And I have told a lie. So the latest McHackinen Trophy standings are like this. And well, before I go for that, let me talk about qualifying too. Gaz out of qualifying, he's down in 15th. He had a smash up at the top of radio on there. Pistol racing only did one time run there on the medium tyres. He is out of qualifying. Brown in 13th position. I think that Brown would be there was another lap in there for Brown, I think, and he was on the medium tyres anyway, so I think he was definitely very much one to go through. Double in 12th position, good time there for double, and Roscoe in 11th. Another big player out of qualifying as we go into qualifying 3. Petty has made it through very nicely indeed. Then 7 drivers are on the soft tyres, 3 drivers are on the medium tyres. Let's get ready for qualifying 3. Who's going to be on pole position for the Belgium Grand Prix? I'm just updating you with the McHackinen Trophy standings, and it is like this. And at the moment, and it is Hogg who is leading the standings there, who is now 7 points in front of Double, who is second, and 157 to 150 points. Great stuff indeed. I'm loving this championship, by the way. I think it's an absolutely fantastic idea from Fizzy. Some really good stuff indeed. Valley in a third position and on 142 points, and 8 points behind Double One. Rizzle 6 in 4th position. Mason in 5th. Brown in 6th position, and 7th is Penny. PB 8th. Gaz is 9th. JJ in 10th, and Lawson in 11th position as well. And I'm very happy about that, because I called Lawson tonight and not Dawson, as I think that I must have been a Tottenham fan in previous life perhaps, in which Fizz is going to be absolutely disappointed with me, isn't he? So he comes out on the circuit now, and you can see now accelerated. Oh goodness me, is that Aslo there getting very squirrely on the old rear there? Goodness gracious me. So that's not going to help his tyres too much, is it? Right then, so we are now then getting ready for qualifying 3. I only expect 2 runs in this qualifying 3 session. Asdog is very much not in any mood to hang around, is he? He is just flying off into the distance. In terms of pole positions this season, and we've got Steve, who's had 6 pole positions. Very good stuff indeed. And we've also got we've had T. Samuel, I think, has had a pole position as well. Indeed, he has T. Samuel pole position in the Russian Grand Prix, didn't he? We've also seen Mason starting on pole as well. Maxie's had 2 pole positions. And good stuff indeed then from all those drivers as well. Hats off, but Steve at the moment is the king of qualifying, and I think he is. I think he's been absolutely magnificent, hasn't he? Here's Asdog. Then remember back in season 7, I keep bringing this up, but I think this starts amazing. Season 7, then of course, in the first 6 races, Asdog was on pole position in 3 of them: Australia, Bahrain, and then in Monaco as well. Asdog had a fantastic start to that season, didn't he? I think it was season 6 actually. Goodness me, the problem with commentating these days, isn't it? Is the years go by way too quick there. Can't believe it, we're on season 9 of RC then, of course. So one away from the perfect 10, isn't it? Next season it will be the 10th season, and of course we won't be seeing this Pink Panther anymore, will we? Because we'll be seeing the Aston Martin team, and we'll also be seeing the Alpine team as well. But unfortunately, we haven't got the Renault team in this qualifying 3 session, which is the first time in a very long time that we haven't got a Renault then in qualifying 3 here in RLC. Now then, Asdog then is about to wind up and start his lap as well. Then he comes over the grid hatches as well, and you can see, look at that, as he diagonals the start finish straight, because he wants a good clear run into last source as well. Of course, we were talking about the incident in 98. How about the incident in 2018 as well, where Hulkenberg completely misjudged his braking point now and sent Alonso over the top of Leclerc, didn't he? Goodness me, that was a frightening incident. And of course, 2012 as well, is Alonso involved again, unfortunately, but once again another innocent bystander, as Roman Grosjean there. Really, I feel he was the first driver to get a race ban in Formula 1 since 1994. After that race, wasn't it? Because Jerome D'Ambrosio took over from Grosjean's seat for the Italian Grand Prix, didn't he? Yeah, that was, I think he was the first driver since 94. because I think Hackner got a ban, didn't he, that season as well? And I think Eddie Irvine did, who instigated the incident between Martin Brundle, Irvine, Jos Verstappen and co. I think that I thought it was Eddie Irvine really, but it says he went flying over. It was a scary incident, wasn't it, in the '94 Brazilian Grand Prix? And I think Hackner was the other driver that got a race ban that season as well. I think there was actually 4 or 5, because Schumacher had a race ban as well, didn't he? He was very much a naughty boy, and that Benetton was very much a subject of controversy all the way through the season, wasn't there? Whether it's traction control or for driver rates, we do love a controversy in F1. It's not a new thing either, is it? Really, we were talking about this car here actually last season, wasn't it? About how much it looked very similar to a Mercedes, didn't it, from 2019? Well, Formula 1 controversy goes hand in hand, really, and I think that's half the reason why we love it, don't we? Of course, we do love a good old, a little bit of controversy then. So goes fast, and Steve is coming across the line. He's done a 42 there, 9/10 of a second in front of Alsdog. Timmy in third position. Val is just coming across the line in fourth. Then Hogan out of the final turn, out of the bus stop chicane. What about we got Matt, who's just gone into third position, then Mason there accelerates out of the final turn, and Mason goes fourth fastest, once again showing his prowess in the qualifying format. Then T. Sammy is only fifth fastest the world champion. Matt, as I just mentioned, up in the fourth as well. Petty is eighth position. Then we got Rizzlesticks in. Can he get a time in off the bat then? He's put himself under a lot of pressure in this qualifying session. Anthony Rizzlesticks has, but I got to say he's responding to it. My word there! I said in qualifying one that this man is very quick, and once again then he has shown it. And I got to say, Steve's in a different postcode compared to the rest of the drivers at the moment, but Rizzlesticks there, a magnificent second position. I think that'll be his best qualifying of his career in IRC. I think that the rain clouds are coming back in. I think he'll be praying for rain. He might be doing a rain dance. Or does Rizzlesticks think there's more time in that Honda-powered AlphaTauri to go for pole position? There is a major difference between Rizzlesticks and Steve at the moment. Steve is on pole position then for perhaps the 7th time this season. Then he is leading the way then. So then at the end of that first run, then this is as it is then. Steve pole position, going for 7 pole positions this season. Asdog is Rizzlesticks in second position now. Is that Petty there? Is just cutting the grass there out of Pouillon there. Good 7th then, but it's Rizzlesticks who's got my star of qualifying, which means absolutely nothing. But I think it's absolutely fantastic performance for Rizzlesticks then in second position. Asdog in third. Fourth position is Matt. Fifth position is Mason. T. Sammy down in sixth position. And Timmy 7th, and Val 8th. Hog 9th, and Penny in 10th position. Great Seal 10 drivers out on circuit there, battling for pole position, and that is what we want here, isn't it? And I think that some drivers have also had scrub tires as well. 6 minutes to go in the qualifying session. Then we've got one more run to go. Then who is going to be on pole position then for round 12 here in Belgium? Then Steve is at the moment then very much the benchmark. We'll find out now that we've got 5 minutes to sort themselves out. There's a Williams going very slow in the foreground there, as Val is currently 8th fastest. One of Rizzlesticks are just adjusting his steering wheel. I'm wondering then, now, oh my goodness me, and oh gosh, that was getting very nip and tuck then, and I gotta say, Rizzlesticks is not really keen on waiting behind Val, is he? Good gosh there, Val there is very much taking his time there, isn't he? Goodness me, I think that very much the good things come to... Rain, that's why Rizzlesticks wants to come out then, so there is rain, and goodness me then, so this might really be the order for the qualifying session then. So Steve is coming out on track now then. You see if he can lower the benchmark then. He might be defending his pole position. Timmy's coming out there as well, but let's see how long and for the rain is going to stay here. Of course, in Belgium there, if any of the drivers haven't practiced in rain, which I'll be very surprised they don't, because this is definitely one race where you do have to practice in the rain, because as we mentioned already in the program, the amount of wet races around Belgium there, it's just seems to come. It's very much scripted, isn't it, around here? It just seems to come every time we're here then. Remember when IRC had the Elite League as well, and that was one of the best races I've ever commentated on. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. Then I think it was round 8, was it, of season 3, I think it was. Goodness me, it feels like such a long time ago as well, wasn't it? But we had a safety car because it was such a heavy deluge, wasn't it? Incredible stuff indeed. There was action after action after that. There was action after action in that event. Fantastic stuff indeed. Look at this as the raindrops are now all falling on the camera then. It's not too heavy at the moment then, so the driver said this is going to be very much about mind management as well as managing the car, because they can see the rain coming down. Then are they going to be pushing too hard? Then they're going to brake an extra couple of meters too late. Then are they going to are they just going to overdrive the car then? Because look, the raindrops are coming down on the helmet as well. It looks like it's absolutely pouring down because of the speed you're going. Whilst it actually is just a light rain at the moment then, but these spots are getting heavier. The track is still good at the moment then. See, it's going to be the first driver then to finish this up off, and as we're now riding on board then with the championship leader, the man who's been fantastic, hasn't he? He has been mega stuff this season, Stiaz, and he is I think he's used all of his experience from yesteryear in IRC, and this season it's just accumulated into a fantastic performance there, hasn't it, from Steve? Remember, I think it was his best season last season as well in IRC, but this season then I think he's gone up 2 levels, hasn't he? Fantastic. Gunja Rouge as well, then coming up into Radion as well. The track is going to be slightly greasy, isn't it? DRS said he gets a beep in the ear. There it is, there coming up the Kemmel Straight as well then, and let's see then what he can do then as he comes up to Lecom. Then Hamilton and Kobayashi crashed here in 2011, didn't they, when Hamilton tried to take the racing line up to Lecom as Steve climbs all over the curves. Well, we had a big smash up there in 2009 as well, which wiped out our 2 favourite Brits of Hamilton and Button, and Steve is now coming down then into turn 8 as well. So I'm wondering if it's a bit too greasy here. As Steve there is now coming into the turn with no name then, and it doesn't look, that's not I don't think that's a full, that's not a full attack lap there, is it, from Steve? And yellow flag said, and that's quite perilously close to the entry into Pouillon there. But Timmy there, I think, trusted his colleague there, and of course, why wouldn't you? I think Steve's a very trustworthy young man, isn't he? Timmy there is now coming into the final part of the lap. Then he's 1700 second up in the first split time. What is he going to do in the second time? Remember, Timmy likes to fuel the car, and it's all about, and he likes to have confidence. Oh, he's a 10th of a second down then. I think that's track conditions there, because Timmy likes to build it up, doesn't he? But tonight the rain is coming the wrong time for Timmy, unfortunately. Let's see though, is maybe I'm getting a bit too excited here. Let's find out and see what happens then. And he's coming up into the final part of the lap as well then, and now clumping those curbs as well. Here we go then, out of it, and DRS then right on the minute. There it is, and DRS then for Timmy comes across the line at 5/10 of a second down, and I think that is whether the effect there isn't into the pits. There comes Steve, unfortunately, and also we got Matt in the pit as well. I think that Mason's had a very good first sector. Let's see what the second sector is. Penny's off is a second down there. Penny, oh goodness me, and yes, that is a greasy circuit then, and Penny unfortunately has found the very unforgiving barrier there, and that's a shame there for Penny, and that is him done in this qualifying session. That's all the drivers done with a minute to go in this session. So Steve is on pole position once again then. That's his 7th pole position of the season. Fantastic stuff indeed, absolutely mega stuff. Really good stuff indeed there for Steve, and goodness me, I've got to say he's going to reserve that pole position, isn't he? But I think that the star of the day is Ristic, isn't he? I got to say then, he has looked very calm, hasn't he? In the qualifying session there, he went out there, he had some issues on his first lap then. His second lap, so he absolutely perfected it, didn't he? Good stuff indeed there for Ristic, and he is on the front row of the grid then. Is he going to have nerves? And he might have the butterflies the size of eagles in his in the pit of his stomach there, as he is getting ready to start his and this is the first ever time in RC in his career he will be on the front row. Fantastic stuff indeed then for Ristic. Pretty good stuff, Ed. I tip my hat off to you, good sir. Alongside him is going to be Steed, and as I mentioned, 7 pole positions then this season. Asdog in a very good third position. I very much nailed that lap. We was watching him. Matt in 4th position, Mason in 5th, T. Sammy in 6th position, Timmy 7th, Val is 8th, Hog is 9th, 10th position is Penny. That is the top 10. As Timmy also coming in the pits as well. That is the end of qualifying. Unfortunately, that ended on a bit of a damp squib, but that was also a pun intended as well, so we had a bit of rain then. The question I've got on my mind now is it going to rain in the race? And we've got 22 laps around the Spa Francorchamps said, so it's going to be this race said is a long lap around here, so that's why there's a low amount of lappage. However, we are expecting I'm expecting rain, because why wouldn't you expect rain around here? Well, Steve, as I mentioned earlier on, he was in a different time zone there, wasn't he? Fantastic. 8/10 of a second in front of Russell Sticks in second position, then Russell Sticks 600 a second in front of Asdog in third, Matt in fourth position, and that is a very juicy second row, isn't it? Keeping on those two. Mason and T. Sammy fifth and sixth, the double world champion against the young pretender there of Mason, and goodness me, I gotta say he's a star of the future, isn't he? Timmy in seventh position, and Val eighth, and Hog is ninth, and Petty in 10th position. Those are the top 10 for qualifying, and I love Petty's P as well, by the way. That's fantastic. I do like the logos. There's some really cool as well. Asdog's got a nice A as well. Right then, let's get into the race, shall we? As I don't think the drivers or you guys want to be hearing me talking about my about how much I like the A's and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, enough on that. Then let's get ready for the race itself, shall we? And this is going to get very, very interesting indeed. Then, right then. Here we go then. This is going to be the start of the Grand Prix here in Belgium then. And this is, of course, it's round 12 of IRC. We are in season 9 then. There is about 30 seconds left on the clock then for the drivers to pick their tyres, pick their strategy, pick their fuel load. Albeit, you cannot be too low on fuel, otherwise you won't get to the end then. Let's just keep that in mind though, all you guys there. But as unfortunately I found out to my cost over the years, and that yes, you do need fuel to get to the end of the race. Which I know it's I know it's a 101, but just ask Felipe Massa about the issue he had in Hungary back in 2007, wasn't it? Perhaps I think so, wasn't it? As David Rebel Coulthard making a bit of a joke about that in the press conference. And right then, 22 laps then, 18 cars then. Let's go for the grid, shall we, from front to back then. And these are the tires, and no hard tires inside them. Once again, a very gloomy day here in Spa. So I wonder if the rain is still very much in the air. I think it is still very much in the air, isn't it? Steve is on pole position and he's on the soft tires. Russell takes his second, his best qualifying performance of his career as well. I wonder how he's feeling then going into this event then, as I let Steve just go off in the distance. Asdog's in third. He is on the medium tires and he might not have the best of launch, but it's not a long drag down into turn 1, which is last source. But there is a long drag through Radion and up the Kemmel Straight as well. So that's where Asdog might be feeling a bit vulnerable. Matt is in fourth position. He is on the soft tires and he would like to displace Asdog quite pronto here. Oh dear, JJ and Pistol has got disqualified. Mason in fifth position, he's on the medium tires. T. Sam in the double world champion sixth. Timmy on the softs as well, as is Val then. 7th, 8th and ninth position is Hog. He is on the medium tires in the McLaren, and Penny in 10th position then. As he's a very long, I think it's the end a long way up. Hog's a long way down actually. Roscoe is gone for the medium tires. He's allowed to pick on whatever tires he wants. He's gone for the medium tires. He's gone for the long view in the Grand Prix. Double in 12th position. Brown is in 13th as well, both on medium tires. 14th is Pistol Racing on his debut. We talk about Rustics being maybe a bit nervous there on the front row. What about Pistol in his first ever Grand Prix here in IRC? Gaz in 15th position. Good stuff there from Gaz. He could have been higher up as well potentially. Fizzy in a 17th position there. JJ is in 16th on software, and PB in 18th position in the Red Bull then. So here we go then. As you can see, we're only just halfway around the lap then. That's how long this track is then. 7 kilometers long. So, I gotta say then, so at the moment we do have Steve's on 7 Grand Prix win this season. He has won the last 3 in a row. He won in Russia, he's won in France, he has won in Mexico as well. The last time he wasn't on the podium was back in Brazil in race number 6 there. So, I gotta say, that is why Steve is absolutely dominating this season as well. He's been on the podium 9 times in 11 races and absolutely magnificent. Consistency. That is the MO, isn't it, for Steve, the championship leader. 9 podiums this season. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then he's on a hat-trick of wins and he's going to go for a 4th Grand Prix win in a row. My goodness me. The records book at RC, he is tearing it up. He is making a Steve book now. And lovely stuff indeed then. And I like that view, by the way. That's fantastic, isn't it? Perhaps if I might use that as my wallpaper. Right then, as I'm sure Steve won't mind as well, but he might have to sign it for me. As we're on board with PB, as he is now lined up on the grid slot, getting himself ready. Then 1 Red Bull at the front, 1 Red Bull at the back, and they're bookending the grid then as well. Just waiting for those lights to come on. Then when are those lights going to come on? Then as There they are then. There are those 5 lights, and they are going to be releasing these 18 animals, and lights out, and we are going for the Belgium Grand Prix. And JJ's on a fantastic start, but it is Steve who takes the lead into turn 1. Asdog's having a lunge on the inside there, as our Rizzsticks there is giving everyone a bit of breathing space indeed. Then Asdog, who is having his second position there, and I would say that it would be, so just take a look down the bottom, and there's debris on the circuit. Penny's dropped right down to the bottom, and the issues there, but Steve's had the perfect start, and Asdog is in second. He's going to be loving that. We've got Rizzsticks and Timmy Mudd, T-Sammy. Now we've got Roscoe, who is alongside Mason. Mason dropped down the order there, and look at the status there, almost side by side, coming up the Camel straight as well. We've got 2 McLarens in there. That's a Renault off the circuit, a pistol in the background as we come up to Lake Home, and not quite. Oh my goodness me, and a pistol there, breaking a lot later there, and my goodness me, he looks like a good driver on the brakes there. Fantastic. I thought he was going to brake a lot later. I thought he missed his braking point pistol, but that was fantastic. And now as T-Sammy there is behind Matt then in the battle for 6th and 7th position there. T-Sammy there is trying to defend from Roscoe, who's gone at 4 positions there. Roscoe's up is on a major start there. Down 8 positions there is Penny at the moment as we're coming through the second sector as well. We've got Mason who's dropped down 3 positions on a bit of a difficult start. Timmy's flown up 4 positions as well. Fantastic. I got to say, Asdog, the 2 racing points are fantastic. Up 5 positions apiece then. Fizzy is actually coming through the field like a hot knife through butter. He's now up into 14th position there. No, he isn't. He's 13th. Gas is on the outside. No, there he is then. He's on the outside. Brown is trying to try and get back past him. Pro Fair. And Gas, oh, goodness me, JJ. Oh, and JJ there is found his feet there. Oh, there's going to be 4 abreast here. And oh, there's a damaged Renault there. And look at this as well as they come up to blame to blow and Shimon then. And Penny there can see these 2 dicing away then. There's his teammate in there as well. Of course, the Haas team do not want to come to blows then. Gunther Steiner will be very unhappy if that happens. And Penny there is going to stick on the outside. The Wally old Fox then. Rizzsticks is dropping down the order. What's happened to Rizzsticks then? Rizzsticks is he's struggling. No, he isn't. Don't worry. It's me tower that's gone appallingly wrong now. So we got Greek Formula 1 there. Let's go T-Sammy. He is doing he's in 5th position at the moment, isn't he? And look at this then, and now oh goodness me, Rizzsticks there is up into 2nd position there. He passes us the car off. Oh, double is off the circuit. It's a safety car, and that's unusual to see double out of the race there. Goodness me. And what is going on there? Is that a car failure? A double, that's only double 2nd retirement of the season. The only race he retired in was Azerbaijan. That is double. I can't believe Rizzsticks. Oh no, Rizzsticks got drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Oh goodness me, he's going to be kicking himself, hasn't he? He reclaimed his 2nd position, and unfortunately he's now got a drive-through penalty. He's got the speed around this circle as well, but he just that is a major blow for Rizzsticks. Oh, he's going to be disappointed, isn't he? Well, as the tower sorts itself out, and Double is going to be absolutely disappointed at that, isn't he? As I mentioned, only a 2nd DNF for the season then, as everyone was back in Baku in Azerbaijan then, so oh dear, that's not good at all for Double, is it? That's unusual to see Double out of the race then. Very unusual indeed then, so I'm not sure what happened there. Did he have a helping hand off it with the top of Radion, or was it a car failure then for a Double? We'll find out hopefully, but he is the reason we have a safety car at the moment then. So we just got the tyre strategy up at the moment. It's a bit too early, isn't it, for the scheduled stoppers to come in the pits, unless they bring their pit stops a bit forward then. Steve, I thought might be cutting in the pits, and Rizzsticks there is coming in the pits. I don't think he's allowed to serve his drive-through penalty under the safety car. Double is going to be absolutely disappointed, isn't he? He's out of the Grand Prix. That's such a shame. Just take a look, see if Rizzsticks coming in the pits, and he has to wait until the safety car is in the pits and to take his drive-through penalty. He comes into the pits and he's thrown on a set of soft tyres, so Rizzsticks there, he's going to be quite quick then, as we've got a Ferrari in the pits, and we've also got Williams in the pits as well. Here comes Brown and JJ in the pits. Well, here's JJ in the pits and thrown on a set of soft tyres, and for the Ferrari team we got Brown then, Williams down the other end of the field, and he's got wing damage as well. I wonder if Pistol might come in the pits, because he had damage on his nose cone, didn't he, in the Renault, but the Davidson's in 10th position though now. Very good stuff indeed there for Pistol. We got Brown there coming out of the pits then as well. Let's just take a look at Pistol. Yeah, he's lost all the end plate. I'm surprised he didn't come in the pits. Pistol, of course, the real world of Formula 1, then you don't see your nose cone, do you, or your wing? So you very much got to rely on the field, don't you? But luckily in RC and League Racing, you do get, of course, a bit of graphic which tells you what damage you got there. That is a lot of damage as well for Pistol. I think he might need to come in the pits then, unfortunately, for the debut on then. As we're on lap 3 then. Steve leads, had a perfect start there. Asdog flew off the grid, fantastic stuff. He's in third position. There was me saying absolute hogwash in the qualifying show that he might be a bit vulnerable. Well, that is absolute porkies, isn't it? Asdog is in second position at the moment. Great stuff. But we've got Timmy in third. In fourth position is Matt and T. Sammy down in fifth position at the moment. Then Roscoe in sixth. Seventh is Mason. Violet's eighth. Hog ninth. Pistol in 10th position. Fizzy has moved up to 11th position from 17th to 11th. I think Fizzy doesn't need qualifying anymore, does he? Goodness gracious me, he's a fantastic overtaker, and he's probably loving the racing from the back, isn't he? 12th position is Gazen, 13th is Penny, PP in 14th, Rizzlesticks in 15th. He also has a drive through as well, so I think we got rain! Oh my goodness me! We do have rain as well in this race then. Brown in 16th, JJ is 17th as well, and so we have got rain. That's why the majority of the field might have been on the soft tyres then. And wow, this is absolute, this is going to be absolute anarchy. I'm loving it. Burnt Mylander is staying out at the moment, so Burnt is not coming in, and he ain't afraid of no rain. I was hoping it would be in at the end of this lap then, so we can go green racing again then, as at the moment he has got his lights still flashing as we're on board then with the championship leader then, which is Steve. We've seen the rain in qualifying 3. It's come back for the race as well. The question is, how heavy is this going to be? I know we're going to need the intermediate tyres, or are we going to need the wet tyres? And Asdog is coming into the pits here. So yes, we've got a couple of drivers in the pits then. So they're coming into, are they coming in for the intermediate tyres? Because Asdog is on medium tyres. Look, that's a late call for the Mercedes mechanics then. I know, hopefully they would be ready to service Timmy's car. Asdog in the pits then, and let's see, they are throwing on the intermediate tyres then. So the track is not wet enough yet then. But I think that they must see on the radar that it is going to be an absolute deluge out there. Rizzlesticks in the pits as well. All the second half of the field have come in the pits here. Rizzlesticks in the pits as well then. So 2 stops here so far for Rizzlesticks in the first 4 laps. He's also got a drive through as well. JJ is come on the soft tyres. JJ has there. So JJ, I wonder if he had a puncture on his last set of tyres, and that's why he's had to come back in. And he probably wants to stay on the soft tyres for now, doesn't he? No. So we've got Asdog, Timmy, T. Sammy, Roscoe, Fizzy, Steve, Rizzlesticks, and JJ. Sorry, just Rizzlesticks. All on the intermediate tyres. Soft tyres for JJ. Let's see what this is going to do then for the race, and I'm really intrigued now then. I think that the intermediate runners have really gambled though. They're expecting an absolute to absolutely tip it down, aren't they? Oh goodness me, Pistol has got a severe collision of 5-second penalty. So has PB as well then. As PB got I think was it PB has gone to the back. I think he has he? Excuse me, I was trying to get my hair out my ears then. Yes, I still need to cut this mop. So that's unfortunate there for Pistol. He's got a lot of damage there, hasn't he, Pistol? I'm surprised he hasn't come into the pits, but perhaps then he's just waiting for the opportune time, which will be when he's going to come in and throw on a set of intermediate tyres. So perhaps then this is a very shrewd move, then, isn't it, from Pistol Racing? Let's see how he progresses then with that wing damage then as well. But yes, he's the debutant, which is 6th then so far. Fantastic, isn't he? The first couple of laps has been really good for Pistol Racing, hasn't he? Almost like a Jacques Villeneuve kind of debut. Fantastic. Really good 17. Remember, Villeneuve broke into Formula 1 there and got pole, but and almost got the race win, didn't he? Fantastic. So, and there it is, and the lights are off, and so we're going to go green racing here in Spa once again, keeping on the intermediate runners, and let's see what Asdog does against Brown then. Pistol Racing, oh goodness me, and I think that's 2 penalties in a row. It is for Hogg and for Pistol. They have 2 5-second penalties there. Oh goodness me, and he's got another one, Pistol. I said, goodness me, and yeah, the penalties are just going up there and up. Oh goodness me, and what is going on there? And oh gosh, there is. I'm not sure if that. Oh goodness me! And yeah, well, Pistol's just driving him into Hogg there. This is absolutely appalling stuff there. And goodness me! And let's see what he can do. Oh no, and Pistol has just gone straight into the back and out of the Grand Prix, and that is not good at all. And goodness me, then that is not good, is it? And look, as into the pits comes Hogg then, as we're now back racing again then. So Steve leads, Matt is in second position, and Mason is up in the third position as well, where the intermediate runners then is into the pits, and Hogg is retired from the race then. He has had so many penalties that was, I was giving the drivers the benefit of the doubt then, but that's not good, is it? Hogg is going to be absolutely fuming now with the debutant. Now Pistol out of the Grand Prix. Asdog then is currently in sixth position there. He is 2 seconds away then for the dry runners there. As he's gone wide as well. And JJ's still on the soft tires at the moment, so let's see what JJ can do. Oh goodness me, it's at the front. There he is in the background now. I thought he was flying off into the scene of the accident now. And there's Brown then in 15th position, PB up into 14th as well. Intermediate running centre. So Alsog is a second and a half behind Gaz at the moment. He's in 5th position. Good stuff indeed there for Gaz. I think Rizzle sticks there as he took his drive through. I think he has, as he is right near the back then. Back on board with T7 then. I think these intermediate runs, it's too early, isn't it? But it needs to rain. But I haven't said that. I say it's too early, but remember that they had a free pit stop under the safety car, so so this could potentially play into their hands. So the slick runners have really got to put their toe down here now, haven't they? The track conditions there could get worse there, and it probably will get worse, won't it? I know, just on board there with T. Sammy then, who, as we said already this season, he's been so unlucky, hasn't he? It's today where he finally gets where he finally has the luck change in his direction. Then, of course, we do love a good wet race, don't we? Around IRC, around the Belgian Grand Prix, don't we? PB is now dropped down to 15th, and Brown is up to 14th position as well. It's Asdog's off the circuit there. He has had some issues there. Asdog is look, there's debris flying off of that racing point, and major problems for Asdog. What a shame then, as we got, oh goodness me, and who's that? Oh, Gaz! Oh my goodness me, Gaz is off there. Raikkonen went off there in 2008 as well as Al Blanchimond, and Gaz has gone from 15th down to 12th, and into the pits. There comes Mason and Valen. It's now the I think that might have been I think they think Gaz had issues, and they've come into the pits and got on the intermediate tires. And look at this, it's going up the inside. Then Roscoe is passing Asdog, and away he goes then as well. Oh goodness me then, so as Val and Mason then, oh goodness me, Penny's now got past Fizzy, I see, was it Fizzy going past Penny, and I think it's Penny who's just virtual safety car, what's happened? PB, he's off for Blanchimond as well, but I think that's a bigger crash indeed. Gaz coming into the pits as well, yes, he's damaged the end plate then, so he's got a 5-second penalty to the Haas cars, just ready to go work then as well, so we're down to we've lost 4 cars in the Grand Prix, a car 25 just thrown on a set of intermediate tires, and only 2 drivers who have not come in the pits and on the intermediate tires. Gaz has gone the hard tires here, and so Gaz there doesn't believe the weather forecast at all, does he? Goodness me! But Timmy is now up into 3rd position, and just taking a look at the split times at the moment, and I think this is a good opportune time for anyone who came in the pits then to really, this would have been a good opportunity to come in the pits, wouldn't it? I think that Galsdog is just staying on the money, watching for Asdog there. Looks like gone the power out of Paul Frere or Stavelo. I will make my mind up one day, whatever the case may be, Asdog's not going to be concerned about the corner name. JJ's got a penalty for speeding under the safety car, and of course, the goodness me, and that's a big blow for JJ, isn't it? So let's take a look then. It's the track conditions I think are changing, because look, Timmy is taking time hand over fist over Matt and Steve. So the track conditions have changed, and I think the soft runners need to come in the pits. The 2 at the front of Matt and Steve has to come in the pits over on lap 6. And it is now intermediate tires all the way to go then. And goodness gracious me, we'll see what's going to happen now then. But look at this, Steve is in the pits, and Matt is also coming in the pits. Well, Timmy is going to take the lead on the Belgian Grand Prix. Steve is in the pits, and he's coming in the pits, and let's see them there. The Red Bull mechanics and Matt's mechanics are also as well, the Alfa Romeo team, and into the pits now. He comes on the intermediate tires, and Steve is coming in then, and I've got to say, he's also been held up from Matt there, so that's a double. Oh no, he's got out in front, goodness me, there's a glitch in the matrix. Into the pits there comes Matt, then thrown on the intermediate tires as well for car 40, and he's in and out in a jiffy. Where is he going to come out now? And look, there's Steve, he is in the pack, he is down in 7th position. Steve is up in the 6th, fantastic. And where's Matt? He's coming out in 9th position there behind Mason as well. So, oh look, T Sammy there, of course, that we've already mentioned of how rotten his luck's been this season. He is now all over the back of Timmy as they come out to lane. Come! Mason is off the circuit and it's a virtual safety car. There is drama after drama here in the Belgium Grand Prix, and goodness me, then is going up into radio as well. That's where Double had his issues as well, and Double was just in the comments saying I'll be watching the stream later to see what I could have turned proximity. I was full on my rear car and want to rule. I wasn't being pushed from behind, stopping me from turning then, as so it looks like that sounds to me then it wasn't Double's issue then at all. That's such a shame for Double. As already mentioned in the stream, he's only had 2 DNFs this season then in Baku and here tonight then, and it's very unusual to see Double out of the race, especially that early on then. So yes, it could be a car issue then for Double, or maybe there's some contact, but whatever the case may be, Double is not in the race, and that's a huge blow, isn't it? Good luck to all this left Ben as well from Double. Good sportsmanship indeed then from that man there. Great stuff. And well, at the moment Mason has got no wing then. VSC is still out at the moment, and this is not helping anyone at the moment, is it? Because I think JJ, is he going to be able to serve his penalty? Where's Sticks at the moment, and is down in 11th position, and he has got some speed at the moment, hasn't he? Michiado saying, T-Sammy, give everything for the win then. Yes, at the moment, and as we've mentioned, T-Sammy, he has had so many issues, hasn't he, this season? He has been very unlucky, but now he has the bit between his teeth. He is 5/10 of a second away from Timmy. He finally has the good luck on his side, doesn't he? Maybe it wasn't luck, though. Maybe it was judgment. He was a judgment call to come in the pits and from the intermediate tires when the safety car is out, and that has definitely very much helped him elevate himself into a second position at the moment. Into the pits then it comes Mason. He's damaged the car, unfortunately, going back up the hill as well. There's no DRS in these rain conditions at the moment. We're on board with T-Sammy. He loves the rain, doesn't he? He's the rain master, the double world champion, is around 12th and half distance in the world championship. Lap 8 in the Spa, in the Belgian Grand Prix here in Spa, as we come up to Lacombe once again. Timmy is still in the lead then as he runs out of road then, and this is going to be ultimate press then. Timmy, I don't think it's ever won a Grand Prix here in IRC. Was T-Sammy is the double world champion in IRC as well. But Timmy, of course, a former pole sitter as well, isn't he? So yellow flag, and what's going on then? As Rizzsticks there recovering, as he got problems there. I think he is kept out of the barrier there. No, but yeah, that looks like they're going up the hill into Radio there. Some major issues are really experienced, and a lot of drivers are thus far on board now with T-Sammy. I would say he could just it looks like he could pick his point here at the moment, because he does have the pace advantage over Timmy in these conditions there. And this it comes in the form of a pink car. There he is on the background. And Asdog, that wing damage is still very much on his teammate's gearbox as well. Just shows how well Asdog is faring in these conditions as well. But the field that T-Sammy is just going to drop back slightly. And just see if we can go for a lunge once again. And back on board then with T-Sammy. And look at this as he comes through. Blanchimont once again. As the spray there is now very much so coming down in steroids now, isn't it, from the sky. Timmy still leading the race, and he's got watch every breaking point. Penny is off the circuit as just on board then. Safety car into the pits comes Timmy. Timmy's in the pits. Oh, and Penny's right in the middle. Asdog has had problems. Oh no, and Asdog, who was having a cracking race, and drive-through penalty for Roscoe as well. Oh goodness me, it's action galore in this race then. And Asdog was watching Penny's car out of the race, and is Asdog gone into someone? Or is that's a very unusual place to retire, and I don't know what's happened there, but Asdog's out of Grand Prix. Timmy is just use this opportunity to come into the pit. He's out in front of Matt as well. T-Sammy leads the Grand Prix. Roscoe, who was next in line there to challenge T-Sammy, has got a drive-through penalty. Fizzy is having an absolutely outstanding Grand Prix. He's gone from 17th to 3rd. Magnificent performance there from Fizzy. As I already mentioned, he doesn't need qualifying, does he? Into the pit side comes Rizzsticks as well. I'm sure this is his 4th pit stop now, Rizzsticks is, and that includes a drive-through penalty as well, which is very unfortunate. But there is still an opportunity for some major points today, for some major points for JJ as well, and for Gaz. And so this is a day. This is definitely a day then for some of the midfield runners there. Sorry, I almost swallowed my tongue there. For some of the midfield runners there to get some good points on the board there. especially as some of the top runners are having a nightmare day today. Out of the Grand Prix is Asdog. Out of the Grand Prix is Penny as well. PB is retired, and so is Hog. Mason has gone off as well. I just cannot believe what I'm seeing here. So he's off at the top of Rally on there. We're down to 11 cars in this Belgian Grand Prix. It is brutal, isn't it, to say the least. Asdog is, I'm sure he's going to be absolutely furious with this. Absolutely appalling stuff indeed then. And same with Mason as well. He's down the Grand Prix, and he was on course as well for some major points tonight. Gaz is now just a whisker out of the, just a whisker outside the points. Gaz and JJ haven't scored any points this season. That is going to change here tonight. It's going to be Gaz or JJ getting some points. Good stuff indeed then. That's it. And I think that's a good little pick me up in the second half of the season. Well done to both of those drivers. Good stuff indeed then. On board then with the double world champion T Sammy. I've got to say, it's definitely a season of two halves, isn't it? By the looks of it, because remember the first half's been dominated by Steve, hasn't it? But T Sammy has been very much not getting the rub of the green. Well, he's got it today, hasn't he? But as I mentioned then, I don't think it's the rub of green as such, but it's just T Sammy absolutely picking the strategy to perfection. Then the rain is not too heavy, is it? But you can see then, you can see the track is very, very greasy, isn't it? And down to 11 cars in the Grand Prix. 18 started then, as it's been a very dramatic Belgian Grand Prix, to say the least. We're coming up to lap 10. The safety car is still out, and let's go for the grid. As into the pits comes Roscoe. I was going to come for the grid then, but Roscoe has stopped me in my tracks then. He comes into the pits then, and I think that he has a drive-through penalty, but I think that he's taken, he's got a cut. I think he has to come in. I think that some drivers were coming in the pits anyway, because they knew that they were going to, these intermediate tyres weren't going to get to the end then, so we're coming up to half distance down there. So Ross coming in the pits and front on the intermediate tyres, and Fizzy has also done the same as well. Timmy did it earlier on then, and as the rain is getting heavier, I would say. It's still intermediate conditions at the moment then, but if it gets any heavier, we might have to think about the more deeper groove wet tyres, and of course those are the Blue Mark wet tyres, and going to be very interesting. JJ also taking the opportunity to go in the pits as well, but I think it's JJ's used the opportunity. Gaz has now gone to the top 10. This is going to be a very crucial day, isn't it? If these drivers, one of these drivers, they just need to keep it on the road then, especially in this action-packed Grand Prix. Anything can happen in Belgium, and it usually does, doesn't it? And that's why I love Belgium. And absolutely magnificent. This race has been brutal for several drivers. So let's go back through the order, shall we? And T Sammy is currently leading the race now, but look who's behind him now. It's Steve who appeared later than everyone else. Is now in second position there, as I was trying to compose myself there. But Steve is now, who appeared a lot later than anyone else, and I'm wondering if he can limp those tires to the end then. Same with Matt as well. This is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? So T Sammy leading. Second position is Steve, and third position is Timmy. He was in the race earlier on then, but he has brand new intermediate tires, and Matt in fourth. Val in fifth, with Brown in sixth. The Williams team had an absolute nightmare year last year in IRC. This season they could potentially get some major points on the board. They've already done a very good job this season, Williams. They're currently ninth for the constructors then, but today is looking like a very solid day for some points for that team. Good stuff. Brown in sixth position. Rizzle Sticks, he has the pace. He's shown it when he was on the front row in qualifying. Can he survive this? Can he survive this ultimate survival game of racing then here tonight in seventh position? Then we've got Roscoe, drive-through penalty in 8th position there. He's going to be kicking himself. Fizzy, who's got a new set of intermediate tyres, and he is going to be, he's been lighted in these wet weather conditions, hasn't he? Fizzy has a nightmare qualifying. A fantastic race then in 9th position. Gaz in 10th position. JJ in 11th position as well. Who is going to get some points on the board then? These two drivers at the back haven't scored yet this season, and this is a golden opportunity for one or maybe both those drivers to get on the scoreboard, and that is exactly what we want to see as well. I'll be keeping an eye on those, because that is just the front battle at the back, and it is at the front then. So yes, we'll keep an eye on JJ and Gaz's progress. We'll keep an eye on also T Sammy and Steve at the front, and everyone else in between then, as I do not to go anywhere, folks. Then this is going to be a doozy, isn't it? What a way to start off the Easter weekend then, and Good Friday tomorrow. Well, I think we should rechristen it to Good Thursday then, perhaps. It's been absolutely magnificent as we're now coming through into the bus stop as well. Green flag racing, here we go. Once again then, T Sammy leads at second position is Steve. In third position is Timmy. Fourth is Matt. Then we've also got Roscoe's coming in the pits for a drive-through penalty, as I think he is serving it now. Steve then, let's see how much pace he's got. He was quick in qualifying, wasn't he? But let's let's see how he does in the wet then against the Rainmaster as well. T. Salmon, he's very much a Schumacher-esque in the wet, isn't he? He's got a very good touch on the pedal, but see, there's right underneath the gearbox out of the world champion. This is going to be a major statement of intent. He's already made a couple this season. If he beats the Rainmaster in the wet as well, my goodness me, he's going to take the championship and the accolade, or the self-proclaimed accolade of T. Sammy as well, perhaps then. And I gotta say, Steve there is he's just driving absolutely stupendously well at the moment. Roscoe served his drive for penalty. He's down into 11th position as well. But let's see what he can do from there on in. Then he won't have to come back in the pits and back on board then with the world champion against the defending world champ. The current championship leader against the defending world championship leader. Then T. Sammy is started to pull away slightly here as we come through Blanchimont then. 11 cars are left in this Grand Prix at the moment on board the Grand Prix leader on the AlphaTauri in the background. You see, I love this shot here then. Great something. Look, there's Timmy and there's Matt just in the background as well, who is going to be enjoying these conditions at the moment. And it's Gaz and JJ who are very close company as well. Look at how I gotta say that track is getting very saturated now off the racing line, so we got some tram lines, haven't we? They got to stay within these tram lines as well. T. Sammy has gained a second over Steve. That is quite impressive time there, isn't it? Goodness me, he's almost got a second and a half over Steve. He is launched away. T. Sammy is absolutely flying out there. Magnificent. Steve has just disappeared there. And now Timmy is also starting to put the squeeze as well. My goodness me. Wow, incredible stuff. But oh goodness gracious me, then these two then are battling for 9th and 10th at the moment. Then this is a bit of the pressure. It's going to be, oh, where's Gaz? He's off, and he's back again. And gracious me, then he's got to be very cautious on the outside there, doesn't he? Because he can very much spin and have his own accident. Remember, the 2007 world champion Kimi Räikkönen did that in the 2008 Belgium Grand Prix, didn't he? Which I think almost all but sealed his championship, all but sealed him trying to defend his crown that season, which is such a shame. And just at T7, and we've got Steve, now we've got Timmy as well, and look at how just making sure that everyone gets through Radion okay then, because it's been very much a crucial part of the Grand Prix, hasn't it? And now we've got Gaz then, and here comes JJ as well. There he is, and launching across Radion as well. On board the Ferrari driver, he is currently in 10th position, and good stuff indeed. Roscoe is now gained 2 seconds out of those drivers on the first racing lap since the safety cars come in. Watching Russell Sticks and putting pressure on the two Williams drivers, and Brown is his first target. Val is the second one. Russell Sticks would love to get some major points as well. And he is looking at it currently 10 points. Then he needs to overtake these two Williams to get 10 points, and he might even be able to get into the top 4 perhaps. Then we see how T. Sammy and T. Sammy and Co go with their intermediate tires, and T. Sammy. Oh goodness me, there Russell Sticks are a lot of opposite 4 lock there, isn't he? On that steering wheel, as just trying to keep the car on the straight. Now Rizzstick's there. He's only got 2 lap old tires, so the same as Timmy as well. Well, you don't think those tires need to come in then. The drivers who we may think needs to come in again is T. Sammy and also the 2 Williams drivers as well, perhaps. Matt Tinsley is going to have to be looking after those intermediate tires, I would say. They're now going to be very much on the borderline. Yeah, they've, of course, these intermediate tires, they usually put around half distance, don't they, when it's raining like this then. So I think it's going to be very much. And Rizzlesticks there is just about kept it on the car. He was very squirrely, wasn't he? Just out of Pouillon. Unfortunately, Blanchimont there, he almost lost it. Rizzlesticks is quick, but he is trying to keep in a straight line there, and I'm wondering if who's got the dry and wet setup on as well. I think Rizzlesticks has definitely got a dry setup on there, hasn't he? And Gaz has got damage somewhere. I think Gaz has hit something hard then, or it's the Haas has fallen apart then. Whatever the case may be, Gaz is now going to be on his back foot now with JJ going to be stalking him for those extra point there in the Ferrari. JJ, I've got to say, has been flying the Ferrari flag for most on his own for most season now with his with Maxi. Unfortunately only doing 4 races so far this season, but I think JJ there, who I think is doing an absolutely great job to keep it on the track in these very treacherous conditions. Well done to JJ and to Gaz as well, but Gaz has damaged the 2 Williams drivers going head to head. I wonder if we might have the team principal Simon Roberts on the phone then for one of these 2 drivers then to let him through. Then perhaps I think that is Val going to let his teammate through there, because the constructor is just as important as the driver standings. But it's very difficult to tell that to the drivers, isn't it? Of course, they are very much selfish beasts, and they, of course, they want to win the race or get as high up as possible. And unfortunately, you are compared to your teammate more often than not. So Steve is, I think, started to really find his find his rhythm in this wet, because the gap, they went up to 1.5 seconds. It's now gone down to 1.1 seconds. So good stuff indeed there for Steed. So Steed is not letting T-Summy have it all his own way. He has 3 lap older tyres than Steed as well. On board with Brown once again. There's his teammate in the foreground of Val. Val is only 1.3 seconds away from Matt at the moment in 4th position. Timmy on a strong drive in 3rd. And Steed is in 2nd. Now we've got a bit of blue sky up there. I'm wondering then, is this rain just go? Oh, we got yellow flags. It's a Ferrari. It's a Ferrari. Oh no, and JJ's had some issues there. Oh God. Goodness me, he's out of the points there. Roscoe is having a 10th position. JJ dropping down to 11. Oh, what a shame for JJ. But we have still got another 8 laps to go in the Belgian Grand Prix. We've just gone over half distance, and Jan saying, wow, what a crazy race. It's been an absolutely incredible Grand Prix. Steve is now within is now under a second. I was going to say within DRS, but he is not yet, because there is no DRS in his wet weather conditions then. Just back on board then with Brown. Then is there going over Radion once again. Roscoe is back in the points, and let's see where he can do from there on in then. Look as they come up the hill as well. There's Fizzy in the background. They're starting to spread out now. Starting to spread out, but Steve isn't. There he is, and look at Steve, and he's really pushing on now, isn't he? As T. Sammy, who is who had an incredible second half of the lap after the safety car came in, was mega. Steve is very, very much so found his tyres, and he has found his feet in this wet weather. And now then, let's see what the Red Bull driver can do. Then AlphaTauri just in front of us. There he is, and the 2 Honda power cars just like in the constructors leading 1-2 at the moment. Then good stuff indeed. The other AlphaTauri versus Sticks there is in 8th position. The other Red Bull is out of the race. Unfortunately, PB, this is a good opportunity for PB to perhaps to get some major points on the board. Unfortunately, he had to had some issues there, didn't he, earlier on in the race then. And they're just keeping an eye on the sky then, because there is a bit of blue sky trying to peek through these very grey clouds here in Spa, isn't it? But I've got to say there, I don't think the rain is abating just yet. But we're keeping an eye on that then, because I think if we have a dry race towards the end, then that's just going to absolutely change the complexion of this race. And I thought Steve was drifting into the wall then. Not quite. Look, Timmy is still 2.5 seconds back as well. Matt is now, the Val is reeled Matt in. Matt is struggling, I think, on these tyres, and he is very much struggling. I wonder if also T. Sammy will be showing on the intermediate tyres as well, perhaps then. Well, we're going to find out then. And got to say, the gaps are very much yo-yoing around. Brown has come into the pits then for the Williams team now then. So he was in a 6th position then, so he's in the pits, and he's going to throw on another set of intermediate tyres, I foresee, till the end of the Grand Prix now. And let's see what he can do from there. Then they've done 9 laps of intermediate tyres. That was the most lappage apart from T. Sammy. And yes, a new fresh set of intermediate tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. Good stuff indeed. Stay with JJ, he's got fresh tyres as well. Brown then is going to be quite a quick customer later on in the race, and Steve and T. Sammy, and I missed it whilst I was looking at the car in the pits, and now they're going side by side then. It's just Timmy's T. Sammy sails the high ground at the moment then, as we're going now into the corner of No Name then, and T. Sammy is struggling. Look at that, he can't get on the power, Timmy is less than 2 seconds back as well. Oh goodness gracious me, then this is the battle for the lead here in Belgium then as well. And Steve, I gotta say, he was very much against the 8 ball today, and all of a sudden, and he's still in 2nd position. He is still pushing on then. The rain is still coming down as well, with 7 laps to go in the race then. And I've got to say, it is getting very, very heavy, I feel the rain is now, isn't it? Goodness me, it is raining cats and dogs out there. Steve just running slightly wide then, of course, as long as you don't get the power on the AstroTurf, and the car shouldn't swap ends then. And look at this then. So Steve then is I think he is enjoying this part of the race, isn't he? Whilst T. Sammy is very much not enjoying it. And Timmy, look, there is Timmy. We're going to have a 3-car battle, I think, in the foreseeable future as well. So this is going to be very good indeed then. So we've got a double world champion then of T. Sammy. We've got the man who's in the current championship. And we've got Timmy, the pretender then, who could potentially be a champion in the not too distant future in IRC as well. He's definitely got all the tools there, hasn't he? Timmy has there. And he is showing them here tonight, isn't he, in that Mercedes? Good stuff indeed there. Roscoe is very much all on the back of Gaz as well. We're coming up to Blanchimont as well. Rizzle Sticks is off, and we see him having some issues. There's a safety car here. Another safety car. And goodness gracious me, then. Is anyone going to come in the pits and roll? Let's come to the pits. Gaz in 7th position, but he's in the pits. And I think it's a good opportunity time then for Gaz to come in then. And Roscoe's in the pits as well. So Roscoe also chooses to come to the pits. And Brown, who's just come in the pits, and so he'll be smiling from ear to ear here. I think he was almost done for speed. Under a safety car, of course, you have to adhere to a delta, don't you? So this is going to get very interesting indeed. Once again, then Broker saying, "Go on, Steve. Come on, Timmy. Catch them both." Then I think the safety car was very much. I think Timmy would be happy with this, won't he? Because he's got quite a lot of pace at this stage. Gaz there had to change the nose cone then. So Roscoe's out in front. Gaz in that 9th position. JJ in 10th position then. So JJ and Gaz are going to get some points then here tonight. Good stuff indeed. Rizzle Sticks, what a shame then, because I think the Rizzle Sticks definitely had the pace here tonight to really ruffle the feathers of the top runners. He did in qualifying. Unfortunately, the race though hasn't been as he wanted though. Unfortunately for Rizzle Sticks there, we've seen him almost having issues as well. And let's see what we can do from here on in then. So the rain, oh my goodness me then, that's a very lot of rain now coming from the heavens, isn't it? So the safety car is out then. 10 cars are left in the race and everyone will score points now, won't they? So good stuff indeed then, but I feel that there is more points on the offerings for some drivers, the likes of Brown and Roscoe. I think Gaz and JJ could be big winners in this race as well, so do not go anywhere, folks. And 6 laps to go. T. Sammy is leading the Grand Prix. He hasn't won a race yet here this season. I keep saying it because it's absolutely astounding, isn't it? The man who has been absolutely fantastic over the last 2 seasons. He has been very consistent, hasn't he? I remember in his first 11 races in RSC, he not finished off the podium as well. This season now, I think his podium. I keep saying he has not won a Grand Prix, but let me just talk about his incredible. Very much has been very much incredible in terms of his consistency. Once again, 8 podiums this season in 10 races for T. Sammy. So that's what his consistency is very much paying off. Timmy stayed on the pit. So into the pits come Steve and Matt and Val as well. So Steve is given a track position here, but he will still be in 3rd position on a fresh set of intermediate tires. And that could be crucial in this race. And so how long is the safety car going to be out for? Matt is coming in the pits. Well, he was thrown on those intermediate tires, but judging from the pace there, and look at the rain. That's why they're on the fresh set of intermediate tires, because it's absolutely pouring down now, isn't it? Oh goodness me, this is going to get a very oh my goodness me, the driver's going to need all their kind of skill and above, aren't they? If they want to survive the remaining couple of laps in this race, Roscoe's going to be happy with this one. Oh, as the safety cars out there. So the top 2 have not stopped then. 12 laps for T. Sammy. We talk about how much of a rain master he is. He is in 1st position. Timmy in 2nd position. T. Sammy and Timmy. Oh, goodness me, then I struggle to talk about those drivers when they're not even on the same piece of racetrack. Goodness me. There's too many T's, isn't there? But now T. Sammy and Timmy are both together. Good stuff indeed. Steve in 3rd position, and he is on fresh intermediate tires and on this very wet track now. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes, shall we? Steve in 4th position, and Matt 5th. Steve in 3rd position, Matt in 4th, Val 5th, Fizzy 6th, Brown 7th, and he didn't gain up much time actually. Brown did he? He actually lost time in the end, and so that was a bit unfortunate there for Brown. Roscoe in 8th position, now he'd be happy with that. 9th position is Gaz, 10th is JJ. Roscoe will be happy with that because, of course, he had that drive-through penalty. I think it was under a virtual safety car, wasn't it? Unfortunately, so I think that Roscoe will be happy that he's back very much in the fight then with about 4 laps to go in this race then, and of course once again absolutely appalling weather conditions here in Belgium. If anyone did come to Belgium tonight and without their wellies and raincoat, then I was going to say you're a very brave person, ain't you? Because I think if you go to Belgium, you definitely very much need to pack an umbrella at the very least then. So the safety car is out at the moment, and I think we're going to have one more lap behind the safety car, and then we'll be back going then on lap 19 out of 22 then. T. Sammy there is going to have to be tippy-toeing around, isn't he? But I feel he's going to have to go on with it quite quickly. I think that Timmy and T. Sammy there are going to very much just have to really fight, going to just defend from Steve. So Steve does have new intermediate tyres then, doesn't he? I've got to get into position then, because this is going to be a fantastic end to the Grand Prix. So just taking just having a quick overview of the story so far. Double out of the race and Pistol racing out of the race. Hog out of the race. PB out. We got Penny out of the race, Asdog, Mason and Rizzlesticks all out of the race. And JJ is in 10th position at the moment, aiming to score his first points of the season. Well done to JJ. He's already done that, hasn't he? Can he get some more though? We got 9th position is Gazamount, also scoring, aiming to score his first points of his season as well. Fantastic. 8th position is Roscoe. He had a drive-through penalty there. He is now back in 8th position. Now he served that drive-through penalty. He is back in the game. 7th position is Brown. 6th position is Fizzy. Fantastic drive of the day so far from 17th to 6th. Val in 5th position there. Good drive from both Williams today. Then both Val and Brown getting some major points in the constructors. Matt in 4th position. He is on the first intermediate tires along with Steed, and surely they're going to be very much licking our lips and for a podium or maybe more. Timmy in 2nd position, and he has done 8 laps on those intermediate tires. Then he is going to have to be very careful on the throttle application. Not as careful as the double world champion T. Sammy, the ringmaster, who is in the Grand Prix. 13 laps on the intermediate tires. And I've got to say, I think that the 2 drivers at the front are going to be very concerned about the fresh shot intermediate tires for the rest of the drivers. I was going to say for the rest of the gang then, but it's the rest of the drivers there. JJ squad to the back then, good stuff indeed then, and I think that it's been very good then for all 10 of these drivers to survive at this point then, because look at that rain now then, look at the spray and the visibility. We have much better visibility than the drivers themselves there, because this camera is above the driver's head then, so we're looking down into the spray, whilst the drivers will be looking up into the spray then, so that is why they're absolute gladiators out here tonight, and they burn Mylander. I'll hopefully be turning off his lights after Puyol, and then we can go back racing once again then. So this is lap 18 out of 22. I've enjoyed this onboard footage there with JJ. We don't see enough of JJ in the races, do we? And that is shame on me, but tonight we're enjoying this we are just enjoying this leisurely drive bed. Well, it's anything but leisurely, isn't it, here in Spa tonight with this rain come down, but JJ just getting those intermediate tires into the correct temperature. He is at the moment he is the fastest heat engineer, isn't he, the Ferrari driver, as he is he's going to try and get some points on the board for Ferrari. Well, he's got one already, safety cars in the end of that then. We're going to leave JJ to it in 10th position then, with Gaz just in front of him in 9th position then. T. Sammy is controlling the pace now on lap 18 out of 22. 4 laps to go in the Belgium Grand Prix. Don't go anywhere, folks, and this is not a good time to get a cup of tea, because I feel you're going to blink and miss it. So then when is T. Sammy going to drop the hammer down then? Of course, he's going to have to be very clever, very smart then in the dying stage of this Grand Prix, if he still wants to win this Grand Prix, and of course he does. T. Sammy is a race winner, isn't he? A double world champion. He does not want to finish this season off for a win, and I think and of course he is definitely not took his eyes off the prize for the World Championship as well as JJ and Gaz there are very much again a bit too eager there. We are back racing then with 3 laps to go then. Let's see then how bad the grip is for the front 2 and how good the grip is for Steve, or am I completely mistaken? Let's go then for the final time here in Belgium. Then we've got a sprint race then as they break down to La Source then. Steve is very much climbing all over the back of the Mercedes gearbox, and the 2 haven't come into the pits then. And look at this then, Steve is now alongside. Steve is through, he's passed one car already, and Brown is facing the wrong way. That is not good then, and Brown starts to not finish. That is a huge blow, and Steve has got past 1 car. Is he going to get past 2 then before he come up to Com then? I think he's alongside. Steve is going to take the lead, is he? He is taking the lead then, and T. Sammy dropping down to 2nd position. Steve takes the lead. T. Sammy breaks so much later. How is he doing now on those old shot intermediate tires, mate, and stuff? But Steve is on the outside. Steve has taken the lead of the Belgium Grand Prix, and I think that was a very clever manoeuvre there, wasn't it, from Steve to come to pits there and throwing a set of new intermediate tires. T. Sammy down into 2nd now, and Matt in 3rd position. And can Matt get past Timmy and T. Sammy as well? Here's the 2nd car on the road then with fresh intermediate tires. Brown is 5 seconds back at the moment then, as Gas is dropped behind JJ. JJ has moved himself into 8th position. Good stuff indeed. Val is all over the back of Matt at the moment then, and we've got Fizzy, who is also who's also looking very keen as well. Roscoe is second back then. There's a Roscoe there. I think that I was surprised that Roscoe has not got a bit more pace at this stage of proceedings then, but of course it's very difficult, isn't it, to get yourself into the rhythm there around these treacherous conditions there. This is on the borderline of the intermediate tires now. It's now for the intermediate tires and now starting to really struggle to clear the water, aren't they? So these drivers that have cannot rely on the tires too much now. They have to rely on their skill, which they've been doing up to this point, haven't they? I've got to say, absolutely incredible gladiators out there tonight in this appalling conditions. Matt is off. Oh no! And Matt is in the wall then, and that's a huge blow for Matt. A stupendous racer. And I think second might have been on the cards, or maybe even the Grand Prix win, but that's not going to be. He's got damage there. Oh, there's plate damage there on the Alfa Romeo. Roscoe is now all over the back of Fizzy as well. He's going up the inside, going to last source as well. As Fizzy, oh goodness me, I thought Fizzy was going to have a lunch in Val. Val in a fantastic fourth and one, good 17. JJ's up to fifth, Gas up to sixth as well. Mega stuff indeed. Then Matt's in the pits, and he's going to have fresh intermediate tires. Then I think they are fresh tires. Yeah, they are. So fresh intermediate tires there from Matt until the end of the race. With 3 laps to go in the Grand Prix, and so it's still very much worth staying out there because there is a lot. There is still 3 laps to navigate around this treacherous 7-kilometer circuit in these rain conditions. And T. Sammy's doing an absolutely stupendous job. Both T. Sammy and Timmy are. How they're keeping on the track then on those tires is absolutely beyond me. Good stuff indeed there. T. Sound out. I would be a bit concerned about the puncture territory. These intermediate tires do not puncture as easily as the dry soft tires, but still it is but still it's got to be very cautious on the with just a couple of laps to go then. Roscoe there just dropping back slightly, isn't he? As we're just taking a look back, and here is Gaz then, who is in 8th for this run and are on course there to score some major points this season. Good stuff indeed there for Gaz and for JJ. Absolutely stupendous driving tonight then. But Brown there is very much so. He'll be very disappointed to be down in 9th position now after he was on course there for 7th position at the very least in the Williams there. As he came in the pits just a lap before, didn't he? Val struggling, and look at the understeer on that Williams there, and look at the rain. It's horizontal there, isn't it? My word there. How incredible are these guys, and magnificent performance there from all 10 drivers, and amazing stuff indeed then. T. Salmon is 1.6 seconds back. Timmy is dropping off, but he's still on a podium at the moment. Good stuff indeed there for Timmy Steele in the Grand Prix, and he's going for his 8th Grand Prix win in 12 races this season. He's not won 4 Grand Prix. That is ridiculous, isn't it? If he stays as it is. Gaz is now at the inside. He passes JJ up to 7th position. JJ drummed down to 8th then, and I wonder if he had an issue coming out to Blanche more than JJ did, and I think he might have had a swapper there, and that's why Gaz is now in the 7th position, and JJ 8th and Brown in 9th position as well, as he is also going to be lingering in the background. So Steele's got the gap up to 2 seconds now on the second to last lap of on the second to last tour of Belgium. Second position is T. Sammy. Third is Timmy. Fourth is Val. Fifth is Fizzy. Sixth is Roscoe. 7th is Gaz. 8th is JJ. Brown is the second back in 9th. 10th is Matt. We have Rizzlesticks out. We have Mason out. We have Asdog out as well. Brown is past JJ. There he is then. As JJ drummed down to 9th position. Brown up into 8th. Next target is Gaz. So also just completing the retirement list. Asdog out of the race. Penny in 14th. PB retired. Hog retired. Pistol Racing retired. And unfortunately double out of the race as well. Unfortunately for all those 8 drivers. I've got to say, it's looking very difficult out there, isn't it, to keep him to really get on the power with the car in front as well, isn't it? Fizzy there taking a lot of curve there, isn't he? Goodness me, then. So Fizzy there is really starting to push on now, isn't he? He wants 4th position, doesn't he, Fizzy? He's having an all-inspired Grand Prix, isn't he, Fizzy? It's fantastic from the Mercedes driver. Really good stuff indeed, then. And Val, I think, is now feeling a bit vulnerable out there, isn't he? Because Fizzy can very much has got him in his sights, isn't he? He is winding them up now. Let's see then. What can Fizzy do then? Val then is on course for something. This is some major points so on the board for Val, isn't it? He is not going to let this one go. Val fight though, is he? It's going to be a difficult fight then in this absolute monsoon conditions here in the Ardennes Forest then. And look, Fizzy's gone wide then, coming out Blanchemont then. Well, he's still on his course, I should say that. He was running on the curve there. Incredible stuff indeed then. Jan saying, come on Val, you're doing great then. Yes, Val there is going to be trying to absorb as much pressure as he can then, but it's difficult circle with the former Grand Prix winner, the Japanese girl. JJ is out of the race then. Oh my goodness me. Now JJ, who was so close to getting some good points for the Ferrari, you still get a point today, JJ. And that was where Rizzlesticks went off as well. We're down to 9 racers now on the final lap then. And JJ will still get a point then, but he's going to be furious about it because he's lost the point now. Gaz is still on course for a very good 6 points then. And he'll be very happy with that. I think that'll be Gaz's best result of his RRC career here tonight. Good stuff indeed then. Final up here in Belgium then, and I think Val is using all his toys up the camel straight, everything to keep out the clutches of Fizzy. It's in the corners where Fizzy is very much gaining time, isn't he, in that Mercedes there? But Val there is just absorbing the pressure. He's doing exactly what he needs to at this moment in time. A good result for Val is very much on the cards, but he has about 4 kilometers to go of the circuit. Oh, Fizzy's off! Fizzy is off the circuit, and he comes back on just in front of Roscoe. He has damaged the car there. Physios that he was pushing, wasn't he? Oh goodness me, I think he's just in front. He's going to stay in front of Gaz at the moment as Gaz and Brown are climbing all over each other as well. It's 7th and 8th finisher. Gaz has gone wide, coming out the corner, and no name, and Brown is going down the inside then. He is on the inside. He takes it through Pouillon as well, and he's gone wide then. It's got to go up and under. No, Gaz there, get on the pedal a bit too harshly there, and almost lost the rear end then. He is still on course for 4 points then, and that is very crucial indeed then for Gaz and for the Haas team as well. Here is the he's going up for his 8th Grand Prix win today. That is an incredible race for Steve. What won it today was his strategy calls are fantastic, wasn't it? He came to pits twice with the safety cars out. Steve wins his 8th Grand Prix of his season. Magnificent performance out from Steve. Who can stop this man on the march then? T. Sammy in second position. Timmy and T. Sammy, brilliant stuff how they kept into second and third position on those worn intermediate tires. That's beyond me. Really good stuff. 18 laps off of T. Sammy, 13 laps there for Timmy. Fizzy B kicking himself there, but he, I gotta say, he would have been feeling a bit more regret if he did go for it. Roscoe 5th, Fizzy in 6th position as well. Brown actually got 7th position away from Gaz, who got 8th position and 4 points there for Gaz. Matt would be in 9th position. JJ gets the final point for the Ferrari. Well done to Gaz and JJ for getting their points, first points of their season as well. And that is very much, that is definitely what they deserve at the very least. Good stuff indeed. But it's Steve, my goodness me, and he started the second half, how he finished the first half with another Grand Prix win. That's his 4th Grand Prix win in the row then. In the middle part of the season, he's absolutely unstoppable. Fizzy getting draw the day, I wouldn't argue that then. And I think that he had a magnificent race there from 17th to 6th position there. Good stuff indeed there for Fizzy. Magnificent stuff indeed then. What an incredible race indeed that was. And we had action galore, didn't we? We start off in the dry. It got very damp there, didn't it? And then all of a sudden we had a deluge there with the second half of the race as well. We had safety cars, virtual safety cars, action packed all the way then. Magnificent stuff indeed then. Let's take a final look at the Belgian Grand Prix, shall we? And Steve got the, once again, he's got the full house pole position, fastest lap, and the race win. Good stuff indeed there for Steve. And he gets the full 26 points then. Good stuff then. T. Sammy second day then. That was a great drive from the double world champion, how he stayed out then on those one intermediate, on those 1 set of intermediate tires. And same with Timmy in third position. Both those drives did fantastic. Val in fourth position. Brilliant stuff from Val with Roscoe 5th and Fizzy drive the day in 6th. Brown in 7th. Gaz gets his first points of the season. Good stuff. Matt in 9th position. He'll be very disappointed there as he lost it through Blanchimont. JJ in 10th position, also getting a point, but he also DNF'd. Other retirements was Rizzlesticks, Mason, Asdog, Penny, PB, Hog, Pistol, and Double, all retired from the Belgium Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed then. So round 12 is in the books now, and the next race, we are going down under then for the Australian Grand Prix. Usually it's to begin the season, but RC has adopted the random calendar in the last few seasons, and Australia will be round 13 as well, and so we're going to be going down under next week then. Join us then. Goodbye.